I'm Shane.
I'm Bo.
We are Kentucky Fried Critics.
Hello, friends. Welcome back.
Episode 49.
The countdown continues. We're so close.
Yeah, it's hardly continuing, right? I mean, for us,
It's all-
basically,
yeah.
it's over. Like by the time people hear us say this to them,
Yeah,
we're done.
We're done.
We've already done it. We're on break.
We're on break.
We're on vacation. I mean, we're still recording, but we've got no time control. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
there's no
time
like worry
constraint.
about how long it's going to take me to edit.
Yeah.
You know, so we might have a couple of. Before we get to completely unpolished again, we might give you a throwback to some super polished ones because I'll just
Yeah.
have the time to do that and not stress about it, right? Like,
Make us sound really good and crisp, right?
and then be like, yeah, just one last time, guys.
That's it. This is the last time we're going to sound intelligent and eloquent, right? The rest of it's what you get, right?
We'll see what I do. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll really enjoy the time and stick with the super rough edits. I mean, because again, the whole idea is to make sure people are used to the transition.
I feel it's more natural.
Let's go ahead and get those socials out of the way so that way we can get into this week's topic. We'll start with our usual three. The big one, the Meta company related socials, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, which is starting to gain traction. I've been seeing a lot more people going there using it, mainly because it's just like auto posting from everything else. Like Facebook, I mean, Meta is, they know what they're doing.
It's all connected to each other.
And so it's just like, oh, maybe I can't start using that one because I'm not really doing anything.
Yeah.
I just got to click this button that says
Go ahead and
post
do
there.
it.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice and easy.
Especially for us, where
Yeah,
you know,
we'll
like
just
we're just trying to
Get
make
the
sure
name
people are
out there.
seeing it. So it's not super important if everything, you know, like again, I need to start getting better about putting certain types of media in the right social
Spot.
media places.
Yeah.
But there are
It's all the
obviously
same.
we have some of them that are just going to be the same everywhere. And so it's just nice and easy to be able to have those ones be able to just auto post to all of them without me having to
don't
like
have to worry
go
about it.
to each one and post it. That is kind of handy. Can't lie.
One last thing to do.
Yeah. If there was an easy way to
Get all of them to
auto
fucking do it.
generate, auto
Right,
pull that
just do it
information,
all.
and so if people listen to me, happen to be those type of social media people who, if you're doing something like that,
Help me out.
reach out and tell me how I can easily. What's a workflow solution?
There you go.
For
Get the
me on
business
this.
terms out there.
There we go. Before we forget the place to reach us at on all of those very important meta apps.
Yes, very important.
Is Kentucky Fried Critics. All lowercase, nothing special, no characters, no underscores, no spacing, no hyphens. It's either going to have an at or a slash in the beginning. It all depends on where you're at. You'll figure it out.
There you go.
I got it right this time.
Good job.
After weeks of messing that up, I got it right this time.
We've only been doing this for a year.
Exactly. Just shy. Just shy. Certainly, the speech is almost at a year. Well, I guess in the form it's in now, it's definitely not been a year. Right?
No.
Like it's evolved at this point.
I think we used to do it at the end, didn't we?
Once or twice. I don't know how many times. That was a long time ago.
That was.
Wait, what a callback. It's crazy to believe we've been doing it long enough for you to have a callback.
I have a
like
callback.
That. Well, like that. Like
Go
one
wa-
that's
go watch
like a deep cut callback.
Yeah, go watch whatever old episode that is. Find
Like,
out.
it's
Tell
probably
me.
it's literally, I'm telling you, it's gotta be like The Sandlot or Night of the Comet. It's one of the first two.
Oh yeah,
It's
go
gotta
watch
be.
Night of the Comets. That was a good one.
I think that's good for all of the meta apps. We can definitely go ahead and roll on to YouTube, since that's a place that you're probably watching / listening.
That's
however you
where-
want to refer to this.
Everybody's favorite spot.
It's a great one. It's where we get our mascot, which is now our logo. I mean, he's everywhere.
He's so cute.
I
love him.
love the Riddick Rat. He's good to us. We're gonna be good to him.
That's right.
Love that guy. Love that little.
Love that little guy. His cute little rat face.
Have you been making sure to look for him? You're the one that requested me to make sure he was
Yeah.
in the thumbnails. Have you been making sure you can find him
right?
in all the thumbnails?
Everybody else has to too. Go look through the thumbnail. Riddick Rat's hidden in there somewhere.
I would say it's at least a month's worth, maybe more.
It's like, well, it's our
they're pretty
version of
easy.
Where's Waldo,
Yeah.
right?
Some of them are pretty exactly like, you know. So just like Where's Waldo, sometimes you're like, bam,
Bam, right there.
Who's
There
not
he
going to
is.
see that? But sometimes you're like, where did they hide that little guy?
Yeah, throw it in the comments. Just
To find us on YouTube, you're going to go to youtube.com/@KFC Riddics. And that's where we get our Riddics from.
That's where we get our Riddics.
Because there's a long, storied history there. Go back. You can hear us talk about it for months on end. We definitely had quite a squabble.
Quite a saga of acceptance on the
But we are
YouTube
there
handle.
now, and that's all that matters,
Yeah,
right? For
we
a
love
long
it
time,
now.
we were spiteful, and now we're okay.
We did the whole 5 stages of grief. Now we're on just acceptance and happy with it,
And very happy with it.
right? Because we got the
It's
Riddick
better for
rat.
us. Yeah, I mean, everything worked the way it should have. That's how I see it. After YouTube, we're going to go ahead and take care of the website for you. That's the place. It's our hub. It's the place where you can find all the stuff, the places, the things. You can download episodes there if you don't have a podcast player of choice that you're downloading them to, if you're not watching on YouTube.
Be weird if you didn't at this point.
It would, but again, we need them to understand that they can.
They
if
can
they
do
need
it.
to, they can.
I guess you're
Okay.
weird though.
I mean, there's also a web player on the website, like it's 1995
I was just saying,
here or
fucking
something.
the old audio
yes,
player,
just
pop
like
up.
that. Yeah.
Nice. Does it do the cool swirls and shit still?
No,
Aw.
it's the type you remember, like way back early internet days, where it would just put the bar
just
at the
the
bottom
bar,
of
like
your
on your
web page.
MySpace page?
Yeah, like it. So it just puts the play bar at the bottom. If when you go to the website, it will automatically do that for the most recent episode every time.
I do it just for the nostalgia. All the people are.
It is, again, I have very little control. I'm not a coder. I'm not making our own. This is provided to us through Acast. There, since we go ahead and plug them,
Yep,
since we're here.
Acast.
They are the hosts for us. So again, you'll be able to find us through them at shows.acast.com/Kentucky-fried-critics.
Nice. I didn't even interrupt with a dance.
No
Continue.
dance, no anything. He's ready to go.
Right?
The hooks have been pulled out, and he said, "No,
No,
today we're
today
barreling through."
We got to continue. My rehab is almost over.
Then before it backslides, I will definitely go ahead and get us past this. So the only thing that we've got left is our email. It is definitely still something you can find on the website. But if you need to hear it here, if you don't want to waste the time to go to the website, if you're only trying to send us a suggestion and you didn't need the extra step,
Yeah.
you can email us at KentuckyFriedCritics@gmail.com. And so again, that's like we said, that's usually, we tell you it's our suggestion box. This is a place to tell us a movie.
Tell us a beer.
Yeah.
Drink hard liquor, cider, anything.
Yeah, at this point,
if you think anything will pair
what
with
have
some
we
kind
not
of
done?
movie,
Like, we've even done mixed drinks that are mouthwash.
yeah, literal mouthwash.
So
Wine? I don't think we've done wine.
No,
yet.
we've definitely done wine.
Have we?
We did wine for Home for the Holidays.
Oh yeah, we did. That's right.
Because she was drinking.
Because she was drinking that. That's right. Damn.
So
Yeah.
there is.
So everything's open.
At this
Moonshine.
point,
We ain't done no
we've
moonshine.
not done, and if we do moonshine, we have to do real moonshine. So we have to find something that's good, that's
I know a
worthy of
guy.
us having to go find. Well, that's what I'm saying though. If we're gonna do the real stuff, we need to make sure it's worthy of getting the real stuff, right? Like, I mean, because we're not gonna be buying the over the counter bullshit moonshine here. So yeah, the email is definitely a place to drop suggestions
It's
like
for
that.
anything.
Any
after
kind of
our big-
booze. That's
after
where
our
we were
big
at. That's where
rant
we went
there.
off on that rant. It was about the booze, man.
Yeah,
we were
there
like,
it is.
What liquor? What thing was off limits? And there isn't.
There
If
isn't. Nope.
If it has alcoholic content in it at this point, I think we're gonna try it. We're gonna try to find it.
Yeah, we're gonna try and find it or mix it ourselves.
Just don't tell me to do like a vanilla extract or something. You know, like that's all I'm asking.
or
like
actual
straight
like
vanilla
legit
extract.
mouthwash. You should
No,
actually
no,
drink
no.
that.
No rubbing alcohol.
Yeah,
here.
none of that shit.
But I mean, everything else basically on the table. Shots, if you want to tell us like a crazy
Yeah.
shot, if we can find something for it, we're open at this point.
Yep. The whole point of the podcast
it used to be
is
very
to drink
limited.
and watch movies.
Yeah, it used to be kind of limited, but now
we don't.
kind of
It's
circled back around.
It's been long enough. Let's just see what
Let's just have
kind
fun
of stuff
with this
we can do.
right? This week was another one of those special weeks for us because we were able to drink at home.
Yeah, we've got another one from our local brewery, our boys over at Sawstone Brewing Company.
So what is this?
This is Old and in the Way.
Holding in the way. What kind of beer?
It is an American lager.
And it is.
It is.
It's a beer.
This is a
It's a beer. This is
a beer. You grab it. This is what you think of. Beer.
Well, again, like part of what Sawstone's message is pre-prohibition era beers. And
Yeah.
this is definitely that, right? Like, like you think this is your grandpa's beer.
Yeah,
this is what your grandpa was drinking when he was 21. I guess if you're our age.
Yeah.
And, like if I'm talking to one of the younger fans, that's not necessarily
They're
true.
over there like, my grandma drinks, like Mike's Hard Lemonade,
But like this is like this is that kind of beer.
Old America beer.
Yeah, and it tastes. I mean, it tastes
Yeah,
good,
it's
dude.
good.
It's got some like nostalgia that's not even for me, but I can tell it's there. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how to describe that feeling, but like you're drinking a piece of history.
Yeah,
it's
like you stole your grandpa's beer and took a drink.
It's good. I like it. It's again. It's like the any other lager, but it's just there's more like depth of flavor. There.
Yeah,
There's something that just makes it a little bit
and
more
it's crisp and thirst
exciting,
quenching.
Right? I like this. Way to go, guys. On that note, I'll go ahead and say we saw this one, and it was one of those things we felt stupid because this is one of their mainstay beers.
We stare at it all the time.
It's on the menu every time. But when we got the shag. The shag bar.
Yeah, for Austin Powers.
We were there and we were looking and we both were just talking and we almost at the same time
were
like,
oh,
grumpy old men. Like what?
Definitely.
I mean, old and in the way. What's
Perfect.
better than that?
Than grumpy ass old man.
And so obviously that's what we're going with. It's a great movie because it's Jack Lemon and Walter Matthau, the true original Odd Couple. Again, for anybody who doesn't know that, we're not talking even the TV show is old at this point. We're not even talking about that. We're talking pre the TV show. This is 1968. That's when the movie. So the TV show was like in the 70s. Yeah, so they were the original Odd Couple. There's a reason this works. There's a reason why they knew this was going to work. These guys are amazing together. They play off each other so well. It's the perfect type of play off each other. It's we hate each other, but we don't. Yeah. Right? Like you can see the
frenemy.
Yeah. And you can see it in them. Like, like when things really matter, you can see the care.
Oh, yeah.
Even sometimes when they're doing the downright dirty thing,
awfulest thing,
you can see like the little bit hint of like, this is out of a place of like, I love this dude, right? Like, I
wouldn't have blown up this bad if I didn't like you so much,
right? Like again, that's the reason it's like this. Again, they do it perfectly. There's a reason why. Again, they did it in the 60s and they got asked to start doing it again in the 90s. I mean. Multiple times. Yeah. 2 times for this franchise. The other Odd Couple, they do this well. They work very well together.
Yep.
We just, again, we like we said, we couldn't pass it up. We just had to do it. On that note, let's go ahead and just talk about who's who with the movie.
Who's responsible?
I don't want to say who's in the movie because
who's responsible for this movie.
Yeah, because sometimes we talk about the directors and stuff, and so this time, again, we're not director people. So the only time we try to do this is if it's something that connects to us.
Or I hate them.
Well, even then, we try to find the good things on those episodes.
Yeah,
I let you go off on your tangents on their episodes.
Yeah.
Like on Stanley Kubrick, I still tried to direct you towards like, man, if we're going to talk about him this long, we have to like not focus on the bad stuff.
True.
And I'm also now the one that has to constantly remind you, at this point, I've made you like more directors than you dislike. You keep acting like you hate every director, and now I have to be like, I have to give you the laundry list of directors that you now know you do like. And the many reasons you like them.
Over here trying to take
I know you're trying to
irrational rage away from me.
I'm just trying to make sure you remember that because it's almost at a point now where you're gonna say that, but then people are gonna be like, "But I heard him say I like this guy and I like this guy and his movies are all really good." And you're at a point now where you've crossed the line of you've said you like more than you've said you dislike. Yeah. There's like 3 you've said you dislike. I've definitely gotten you to admit at least 5 that you like at this point.
Do you like Peter Jackson?
Well, not even. I'm talking about some of the ones that we've done because you didn't know the other movies.
I didn't.
You didn't know that they were actually doing many movies you like. That's what I'm saying. I've surprised you with the fact that you do like a director's whole repertoire of movies. You just didn't realize you didn't
realize they did
them. Yeah. I know that you have a few that you just naturally like. I was never trying to insinuate that you hate on every director. I was just trying to make you realize you don't hate on it nearly as many as in your head you think it is. You've got like 3 or 4 and you've convinced yourself that you hate everybody. And it's like, man, You can hate, and those 3 or 4 are valid. Again, I'm
Yeah.
not even trying to come at you
I'm
and
not
tell
trying
you
to be like, no, you have
Yeah.
to love Kubrick.
Yeah, it's not even one of those situations. I just want you to know you like directors. You really do.
Quit acting like you hate them.
The more we do this, the more you even find that you like them.
I'm getting better.
Well, and on that note, though, this is, like I said, one that doesn't matter at all.
No, this
The
one,
only
I
other
can rag
things-
on this guy.
Well, if you want to. I don't know if there's really a reason to. I didn't have a... his direction was inoffensive, is how I would say
No,
it.
I liked his direction in this movie, and the sequel's good.
But the only other things he's done are like weird 2000s rom-com, like Miss Congeniality type movie. Like that is one, and I don't know the other
I
ones.
do like that movie.
Still weird compared to
It
this.
is. It's a weird way to go from this.
Donald Petrie.
Petrie?
Yes.
Isn't that the name of the flyer from Land Before Time?
Maybe.
I think so.
I know it's a dish.
Petri dish.
Yeah. It's the
for
class
germs
for
and
science.
shit.
Yeah. That's all.
We're
When I hear that
gonna
name.
build a bacterial culture real quick.
That's what I think.
Oh,
of.
that guy had to have hated biology class.
That's what anytime I hear Petrie, that's what I think. Then the writer for this is Mark Steven Johnson. Again, I don't have a lot to say about this guy, but in the vein of just, we're trying to educate ourselves.
Yep.
If not on the beer, at least on the thing that we do watch a
Yeah,
lot
at least
of,
we
the
should
pop culture part. We
give
got to care about
credit-
something.
Give credit where
Yeah.
credit's due, who actually wrote it, directed it.
Yeah,
all
so
that
even
stuff.
if we don't talk about them, we should at least start getting in the practice of saying them.
shouting
right?
out.
So Mark Steven Johnson, he is the writer director of Daredevil and Ghost Rider.
I love Ghost Rider.
This very random, like it's the 2 grumpy old men movies.
And then 2 superhero movies. One which was good, one
Daredevil's not bad.
I don't.
Elektra is horrible. Like like if we're gonna go from the
Does
era,
Daredevil show up in that one?
Elektra,
Yeah,
maybe,
because I might have them confused.
maybe I don't know. I
was like 12.
I don't superbly hate the Affleck Daredevil. That's all I'm saying. It's not good. I'm not trying. if it is the one that you're thinking of, by all means, you could be right that that's the one you don't like. I'm not trying to say people should like it. I personally it's not as offensive as a lot of people like to say it's offensive. I don't think it's
killed
offensive.
the franchise.
Yeah. And I don't think it's like that. It definitely wasn't great. I understand why it didn't go places. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of those kind of people though, because I love comic books, so I can
Yeah.
forgive a lot more than some people.
But
I literally
got a
love
comic book movie.
Well, and I literally love comic books, so I'm not even like the guy who's just like, it's not perfect, it's not exact. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I love that we get that.
It's like, yay, it's there.
We could live in a world where I get nothing, and so the fact that I got they tried. That's sometimes worth
You're
it.
super stoked to see the bootleg copy of the Spider-Man TV show from the 70s.
Oh, dude, I watched that when it came on TV, man.
Nice.
Like reruns when I was a kid, they were still coming on. It was a soap opera. I mean, it's not really great.
Is it really? I've
It's
never
kind of a
watched
soap
it.
opera. Like the in between times, it's kind of a soap opera.
It'd be hilarious if it was just like a Spanish soap opera, and then they just like cut in scenes of a guy in a Spider-Man suit.
That's what the Japanese show
climbing
was
on
like.
shit. Nice. I want to go.
The
watch
Japanese
one.
Spider-Man show is that. That's exactly
That's the
what
one
that
I
is.
want to fucking see.
All right, we've done our first little bit of a tangent. We
should get off of this.
Yeah,
and
we
back
should
to
wrap
the-
back. At least try to stay on
Boom.
task.
Yeah. Attempt,
Yeah. Again, I'm not saying we will, but
we're gonna try.
So then, now that we're done with the director and the writer, we can just get straight into who's in this movie. And so we're gonna start with, like we've already said, Jack Lemon, Walter Matthau, that's playing John Gustafson, as that's Jack Lemon, and then Walter Matthau is Max Goldman. They are neighbors. They've lived in the same town. So this is the one thing we know they've known each other since they were children.
Like 10.
Are they living in their parent? Did they inherit their
It
parents'
seems
houses?
like it. That's
so
the
then they have
vibe I
literally
got.
been neighbors
Since they were 10 years
right?
old.
Like that's the part I wanted to make sure with you. I was like, that's the vibe
Yeah,
I
that's-
get,
that's
but I
totally
want to
what
make
I got,
sure
yeah.
too. That's insane.
That's why like it sucks about what's happening
Yeah.
to John in the movie.
Yeah. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's totally what I got. Was like, I'm like, these guys have been frenemies since like day one.
Well, no, but we'll save that. At one point, they were friends.
They were friends. They were real friends, legitimate.
We'll get there when we get there. We don't want to jump the gun too soon. The next person that we'll go ahead and mention for the movie is Anne Margaret. She plays Ariel,
Who is batshit insane.
the crazy
This
character.
lady is nuts.
This is another one I want to stop here to point out what this is like, and it's almost part of the movie. They mention it once or twice, the age difference between her and them, and how maybe that's the magical spark, right? That's what's bringing. But I want to say this because it's weird enough that Hollywood does it with like a man in his like 50s, and they'll make a woman who's like 25 or 30 be the person who's like the love
A
interest,
lot of
and it's
James
like
Bond movies.
and you're just like, can we stop doing that? Right? Like it's a little bit like, can we? I mean,
Can we
there are
age her
plenty,
up a little?
there are
35?
plenty. Well, there are plenty of age appropriate women that still look fine and look good and should be playing the spouse or whatever to these people, right? Even this movie had to do this, right? Like how
She is,
weird
like,
is it? She is
30.
no. I looked it up. It's Walter Matthau was born in 1920. Jack Lemon was born in 1925. Anne
Jeez.
Margaret was born in 1941. She is 21 years younger than Walter Matthau in this movie, and
That's
16 years younger
not okay.
than Jack Lemon.
That's a little creepy, even for like quote unquote old people.
Even for adults, like
yeah.
clearly adults have adult children,
Yeah.
adults.
It's like that's
That's
still
a
huge
weirdly
age
age gap, right? Like that's literally they were in diapers when their children were born, right? And we see their children, like she was
Yeah.
in diapers when they decided to have kids, if not the same age.
Right.
They just tried to gloss over it, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's uncomfortable.
A little bit.
We can move on from it, but I have to point it out. I want to point it out now so it doesn't derail
Why couldn't
conversation.
you want to keep it like more age appropriate? Why can't we like Dame Judi Dench this bitch? Bring her in here. She would have been fantastic. Eccentric lady. She would have played the shit out of that.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's a Hollywood problem. Is
Yeah.
what this is. 100%. I don't think it's anything else.
I would have cast it different.
They definitely had some idea of what they were wanting to do. I don't know if I agree with it. We can move on though. We don't need to focus on that no more.
If this movie was called Middle-Aged Men, she'd have been 18.
That's what I'm saying. Again, this was my whole point. Like it's
I get it.
very
Hollywood is creepy.
had to bring it up. I had to bring it up now because if not, this would have derailed any conversation we were having
later.
in the movie. It derailed this, and we're just talking
Yeah,
about
we're
people.
just talking about it now.
After Anne Margaret and Ariel, we've got what I would say is the next most important person in the movie, right? Like there's like a hierarchy here
Yeah.
of like who's screen time and stuff. And so the next one is Jack Lemon, John Gustafson's dad. They list him in the credits as Grandpa,
As
which I think is
Grandpa.
funny.
That's pretty funny. I think everybody calls him that. Like,
But at the same
even
time,
Max and shit.
his kid is important, and Walter Matthau's kid is there too. But they're not like uber important. So it's funny that we get Grandpa as his name. We could have been Dad. It could just as easily been Dad. I guess they didn't want the 85-year-old man to be Dad.
Yeah, I guess that would confuse people if they were just reading the credits.
Well, it's already kind of confusing because Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau are also grandpa-aged people.
Right. And Jack Lemmon has
They are
grandkids.
grandkids.
Yeah, he has grandkids.
So you get what I'm saying? Like it all depends on how you want to look at it. It's all kind of weird. They just made their choice. But so Grandpa is Grandpa Gustafsson. You gotta make sure you get the right
Got
one.
that strong Swedish name.
That's right. Is played by Burgess Meredith.
Fucking Mickey.
Mickey from the Rocky franchise, which is 1 and 2, right? When did he die?
He dies in the third
one. Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
I mean,
because Mr. T
yeah.
pushes him and gives him a heart attack.
But so
It's very sad.
if that's the only thing you know him from, I promise you it's not.
Nope.
You also have probably seen him in random other things from the 90s as a random
crazy
cranky
ass old man.
If you remember anything where you saw an old man doing weird eye twitches, it's him.
He's in Camp Nowhere with Christopher Lloyd. He's the guy they buy the
I
camp
know.
from.
Just the weird eye twitching.
Mr. Bandersnatch.
And so that's what I'm saying. If you remember seeing an old man in your childhood who did weird eye twitchy things,
stuff.
it was probably him. All right. But the other reason most people might know him and not realize they know him is if you have ever watched Puff the Magic Dragon. He's the real original, like
Mickey Rooney one.
he was Puff. He's the voice of Puff.
I did not know that. I know he is the Penguin in the old
Yes,
Batman
exactly.
TV show.
There are many things that you should know him from.
I'll get you, Batman.
Now, that being said, if you are strictly a person who only knows recent pop culture, he is definitely those guys, one of the from the 90s.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
saw
Like,
him in
if you saw him in the
90s
90s,
movies. Yeah,
he's just one of those guys. He's like this guy.
It was-
he's dirty grandpa.
yeah, he's Dirty Grandpa.
Or he's some random
Or,
variation of that, right?
Crazy homeless guy.
Yes,
or
I mean,
he's
his 90s was a very specific kind of character.
more
right?
of a like, hey, we've got Burgess Meredith on the fucking
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, he
It's
said
more
he'd
to
do it.
pop the crew than anything, really.
Right. Keep in with the family of our characters here, and so our next one we'll do is sticking with our Gustafsson family is John's daughter Melanie. Definitely not Gustafsson, but I don't think we ever hear the last name.
I don't think we do
her
either.
married last
Yeah.
name, played by Daryl Hannah.
Nice.
Fucking what a name drop.
Yeah. From nowhere.
Well, at least we see more of her here than we did in the last movie that we saw her in.
Yeah.
Uh,
She had like top billing in that movie too. She's like one of the main credits, and she's
well,
in, like,
Little Rascals. Yeah,
yeah,
she
she's
was
like
just the teacher, for like 30
half a
seconds.
second.
We at least see her here.
Yeah, she
She
has
does some
a
acting.
actual part here.
Yeah, she says some lines. She's got
She
some shock
act-
values.
Yeah, and she's good.
And so I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, this is how we use Daryl Hannah.
Right.
Just saying.
After that, then that's all of the Gustafssons that we need to worry about. So our next one then will be the Goldman family, which we only have one member to worry about here. That's his son Jacob, played by Kevin Pollak, the ever funny. I love Kevin Pollak. Even when he's doing something simple like this, he just oozes the funny when he needs to. He knows how to turn it on and turn it off.
He's usually like a smarmy smart ass.
Yes, no, he plays it very well.
Very well.
Again, that's why I was meaning this character is not that. He's
No,
actually
it's,
a pretty
he's
like
very
genuine,
decent, nice guy
yeah.
in this one. It's like,
But
oh,
he
this
still
is
knows how to turn the funny on when it needs to. Like he plays a straight man just as well he does the funny guy, right? Like he does it really good, which is what I meant. He really knows his comedic timing. He knows how to do
the
this.
bit with the broccoli.
Yes,
that was good.
So that's what I mean. I love Kevin Pollak all around. A guy that doesn't get enough like great talking.
Another
about him.
top
Like,
tier
yeah,
those guys.
Yes, 100%. Moving on from Kevin Pollak, we've got Ossie Davis. At this point, we're gonna shoot out the smaller people.
The smaller one, but he's the best one.
Well, because we've already done this.
Yeah, I was so happy when I saw him. I was like, "Yo,
Mr. President!"
It's Mr. President,
right? You're like JFK.
JFK. Go watch our Bubba Hotep review.
It dyed you with ink. Yes.
Wonder if he ever got that piece of his brain back.
I don't know. He talked pretty good.
He did.
Well, I guess this was before.
This was probably before he ended up in the home.
Yes, it was. It's always fun to see him. Love Ossie Davis. Very small part.
Playing Chuck the bait man.
Yeah, very small part. He's not in that much of the
runs the bait
movie.
shop at the fishing hole.
Almost as small as the next one I'm going to mention, which is Christopher McDonald, Shooter McGavin. Bo saw me do the finger. You guys can't see yet. I don't have videos, but literally I said the next one I'm going to mention, and I did the fingers for Shooter McGavin. So yeah, Christopher McDonald. Again, we know he's not Shooter McGavin only, but it's the first thing. We watched how many movies have we done these popped up in? I don't know.
Oh God, like 5.
I don't know any other character name. I know this one. I know Shooter. I should know Shooter. Right? So
I swear he's been in at least 5 movies.
Oh, dude, he's been in a bunch. Whole bunch. Because he's that guy.
He is. He
was in SLC Punk and Dutch off the top of my head. I don't even have to think. And I'm not even going to try to think of more. We can spend all day. But off the top of my head that we've done, those 2, I can tell you right now. We had at least 2. So he's
somebody in the comments figure that out.
Yeah. He's not, like we said, not a big character, not a giant part.
Just enough to make you go, hey.
And on that note, the smallest of the people I want to mention for the dorkiest of reasons, because I love this guy, and I don't know. You probably won't know him.
Am I even gonna know him?
You probably won't, because this is gonna hit very true to a very specific age range of people. The guy who played the pharmacist.
Nope.
Small scene, like I said.
I know who you're talking about.
He played Officer George Franklin on MathNet. It was a TV show that was played for public television. So like PBS.
It sounds like a public education
but it was like
show.
Dragnet with him and this woman, and he played the perfect fucking straight man for this fucking weird kids math
that
show.
Sounds awesome.
Well, here's the thing though. He played that character of George Frankly on like 5 other kids' educational programs. So you might have even seen him on Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Because he played the same detective. If they needed the detective,
I did watch
if
that
they
show.
did a detective that was very good with math, he came in playing George Frankly from MathNet. I love this guy. But the reason I was saying you probably won't know him is because this is literally in like in schools.
Yeah.
In your math class,
When they
on
would
like a
roll the
lazy
TV
day,
in.
this MathNet is one of the things they would play for us.
We got
this
Bill
fake
Nye.
Dragnet shit. Well, that's for science. This is what they would show.
They
This is like,
dude, they would throw Bill Nye in anywhere. They
no.
didn't
See,
care.
when I was a kid, Bill Nye was literally your science teacher would be able to do that. Maybe if you had a gen ed class, like one where it was like different topics for different things, they could use it. But so math teachers, they would roll in fucking MathNet.
That's cool,
and like
dude.
other things. I love this guy, and that's why this was a callback. I know you might not get, but 100%. I want to hear from people. If you know who I'm talking, if you know MathNet,
Yeah,
please
if you've
tell
heard
me.
of that show, if you watched it in school,
yeah, no, I mean
it'd be like 93, 94.
yes,
right?
that's exactly.
Yeah.
It started in 89 and went to 93 or something like
there
that.
you go. Because I'm just going by like
By how little it would be relevant to you. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a little younger than you. I didn't really
Well, 'cause
start
it's
going to
made
school
for-
until 94, 95.
Well, it's made for middle school age kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
And so it's literally like I was in middle school at the end of when it was on air, so it was just about to stop being relevant for kids, and you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I caught it at the tail
Yeah,
end,
right at the last end of it.
but I want to hear from people.
You missed the glory age when it was just like you could be in like English class and we're like, we're just gonna watch Bill Nye, and we're like, yes.
Yeah, that was definitely not a thing. If it wasn't science class, and then you can
Middle
use
school
Bill
was
Nye.
awesome. They just kind of didn't give a shit. They're just like, we're not gonna do anything. Watch Bill Nye. It's educational.
Obviously, we're not going to get much smaller than our character from MathNet. I don't think. If
Yeah.
you know other people, obviously, to tell us if you
My
feel,
cousin Bernie
yeah.
was in this movie.
If you feel like we slighted somebody, let me know. But I mean, I feel like again, Bo already kind of looked at me like MathNet.
Nah, I've never heard
Like,
of
and
it.
this is a connection for me, and hopefully at least one other person. But that's
Let us
definitely
know.
gonna.
Let us know in the comments if,
Yeah.
if you went to school and watched MathNet.
But that is certainly gonna be one of those things that wraps up our roll call of all the cast. So we can go ahead and get into the movie. Opens up, just rolling across small town America,
Covered in ice and snow.
right? With heat wave.
Yeah.
I had to look this up. Like not even the first time. The first time through, obviously, you don't realize how important that song is, but he
Yeah.
sings it
Yeah, he sings it
multiple times in the movie.
throughout the movie.
So I had to make sure what it was. After that, again, the first time I was just like, oh, well,
Yeah, it's just
I was like, oh, it's a different.
they're being funny.
It's not the heat wave I know, though. You're right.
Yeah.
It's not the Motown.
Yeah.
It's a different one. So I looked this up. It is originally a song from like 1930 something, 1920 something. It's one of those like it's an old song, but this is an Ella Fitzgerald cover of that song.
Nice.
So it's just playing to contradict what we're seeing, though, right? Like,
Juxtaposition of the 5 feet of snow that these people have.
just it's outrageous the amount of snow. Again, like it was small town America.
Yeah.
Right? Like if it weren't for the amount of snow, it's literally like our slice of small town America, right? There was a small little main street, some
just
shops up and down it, and
Got the local whole bar and shit.
right, like very similar, very similar. The main thing that's being different, like I said, snow.
yeah.
we don't-
lots of
yeah.
lots of fucking snow.
So it's our first clue that this is obviously not the Midwest, and maybe or at least the far side of the Midwest, right? Like you mean like, this is
Northern Vermont.
Minnesota, I do believe is what they tell
Oh, is
us.
it Minnesota? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Wabasha or Wabasha or however they say.
Wabasha.
Wabasha, Minnesota. That's what it is. And then we zoom in though through our look at all this small town here to the Gustafson house. Yes, that's right. You heard me correct. Like I said for the
Gustafson.
credits, Gustafson's again makes the Minnesota make more sense
Yeah.
to you, right? Like when
Good
you hear
Viking
the names,
stock.
yeah. Gustafson is probably a very common name
Yeah,
in
out
Minnesota.
there probably.
just as common as anything else you're gonna run into. If anything, that would probably make the Goldman that Max is
Odd.
a little out of place with
Yeah.
all the Gustafsons and Ericsons and,
Probably not,
and
not
those
a
types
large Jewish population in Minnesota, probably.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I am not certainly one educated enough on these things to tell you a definitive answer one way or the other.
Fuck no.
But yeah, like I said, we zoom in on the Gustafson house. We see he's sneaking out the window, right?
Yeah, because
well, we don't know what's
we don't know
going
who
on.
he is.
We just know someone's at the front door
knocking.
He doesn't want to answer.
Yeah, he's going out the window.
Our one of our two mains, John.
Yeah.
I guess. Do we want to just use their last names?
Gustafson is fun.
And Goldman.
Gustafson, Goldman.
So Gustafson.
Gus. That's what I wrote in my notes.
Well, because again, it's John and Max or Gustafson and Goldman. Those
John and Max is easier.
Okay, so
yeah.
That's why I was wanting to ask. So that way we can make sure we're just on the same page for it. But yeah. So John sneaks out his window, past the guy that's banging on his door.
Yeah.
Sneaks around through the backyard, over and back into the front yard of his neighbor. First time that we really get a glimpse that they are definitely frenemies. They are not friends, John and Max.
Because the first thing out of his mouth, he's like, "Hey, dickhead."
Is Putz thrown out? That's like his favorite one, right? That's his
favorite
favorite
one.
one. That's his
Moron
term.
and Putz are their favorite
That's
ones.
the terms of endearment to each other, right? Like that's like a real friendly one to each other.
I mean, how I talk to my friends is I call them asshole all
the
time.
Max mentions the heat wave. Like again, it's so outlandish to think that anybody actually thinks that. And I don't know what the weather there is, but I guess this is to lean credence to the fact that the song is playing. It is a heat wave. It's an actual, like for that time of year. Now, that being said, we hear the weatherman a little bit later on the TV, and he makes it even more ambiguous because he talks about it like it's cold, but it's always that cold. But
So
then
they
he
just
also
live in
says
perpetual ice.
Well, but then he also that's what I was gonna say. But it's always that cold. But then he also mentions like for that time of year, maybe it's not that like it shouldn't be that cold yet. I don't know. But he talks about it too. It's like we never know what the actual temperature is and if it's actually
still
warmer than
fucking
usual.
cold enough for them to still go ice fishing, so it can't be that warm.
Well, I mean, in Minnesota, I think
It broke over a 0.
I think most of the year
It's not in the negative, so everybody's like, "Oh man, heat wave."
That's exactly it, dude. I mean, they can take
It's 10 degrees out here. I'm gonna need I don't need this sweater.
They can take one of the 5 layers.
They can
off.
take one of them off. Don't need the thermal underwear today, guys.
This is when while they're talking, the guy leaves the front door, right? And he slides down to them, and he's just like, "Do you guys know?"
Do you know John Gustafson?
Gustafson. Maybe it's a good thing we're not using the last name.
We're just gonna call him John.
And he's like, they're both like, and you see on John's face,
he's looking at him like, dude,
he's worried.
Dude, come on,
don't do this.
Don't do this to me.
And so Max is like, I got this. I got this. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I got this. And so he just starts bad mouthing the fuck out of John.
Oh, he's not here.
Oh, you mean that guy? That piece of shit? That low life?
He's a scumbag. You might want to check for him down at the male strip club.
I also and so after they say all this to him, he walks away. He's just like,
dude, what the fuck? Male strip club?
You can tell too that guy believed it, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? Like he was just like, okay, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you
just
for
walks away. Falls on his ass in the ice.
When he falls, did you get Groundhog Day vibes? Like to me, it felt like when Ned
Biederman or whatever his name is,
Ryerson,
right?
Ned Ryerson,
Ned Ryerson.
Yeah, it felt like it. His clothes kind of looked like it.
Yeah,
They treated him with the same kind of like Bill Murray.
It's not the same guy, is it?
No, not at all. 100%. I'm just saying though, it felt like it. The movies came out the same year.
They ripped each other off.
They came out the same year, so it's not even one of those things like they saw it in the other movie. They both came out at the same time.
Just weird coincidences of Hollywood. Some writer
had
the same idea.
It felt so the same. You know what I mean?
It is. It's almost the same thing, just shot from a different angle.
But yeah, I very much did enjoy that scene when he falls, and they start laughing about it.
Oh, you gotta watch out for that ice.
they see that someone's moving in next door, right?
Yeah,
That's
somebody bought
while all
somebody
this is
bought
happening.
the house across the street, and there's a bunch of like statues and
No,
art
this is
and shit.
I love this. They're talking to each other about the fact that he says, "Did you notice someone's moving in?" Of course I did, dumbass.
Yeah,
Or whatever. You're
of course
"What?"
I did, dumbass. Look,
And then when they're looking though, he goes, "Jesus," as he points at the statue of Jesus. I was like, ugh. Like, it's so dumb, but it's so funny. Like, I love
they're lugging it out of the truck, and he's just Jesus.
I love a sight gag like
Right.
that, right? Like, because you think he's exclaiming it in general, like a generalized, like I see something crazy.
Yeah, look at all the shit they're bringing out, but no, it's literally a giant Jesus statue that
I'm
they're bringing out.
literally exclaiming Jesus at Jesus.
That is funny.
Yeah, simple joke, dumb joke, love it joke.
Those are some of the best ones, man. You get the nice, simple ones that get you.
We do see, though, John goes into his house after all this is done. They part their ways, and we see why the man was there.
Yeah, IRS is coming for his house.
30 days to vacate. He's behind on his mortgage.
That sucks.
Well, we assume he's behind on his mortgage. Later, they explain it to us in more detail, and I've got so many problems with it. It is definitely how the IRS works, but it points out the reasons
bullshit.
why it shouldn't work.
Super bullshit.
But we'll save that for later, because right now, though, for most Americans, the easiest way to even try to say this is just that he's behind on his mortgage. It's technically more intricate than that, but essentially think the same consequences are going to happen, right?
Yeah, he's going to lose.
They're going to sell everything off, and he'll lose his house.
Yeah,
same thing will happen. So again, he's not actually behind on his mortgage, but until we get to the part where we can actually talk about it, we'll just say he's behind on his mortgage.
Yeah,
he's going to lose that house. They're going to take it right out from under him.
So he goes and sad plays piano.
Well, I mean, got to do what makes you happy, man.
Yeah.
This is also that part where I said you can hear the weatherman. You remember he's watching it? He even calls the guy a dickhead. Walter Matthau, I will agree. Yeah. This guy is a dickhead because he is so ambiguous.
Fat dickhead.
He so doesn't actually tell the weather.
No,
like, he's worse than most
he just has like the
circles.
patter.
He talks circles around. Like I said, he says maybe it is normal, and then he makes it seem like it's not normal, and then he's like, we are colder than normal, or
this could rain, but it might not, but it's going to, but it could not. No.
He is very clear about one thing and one thing only. There will be more snow. That is the only thing he is absolutely clear on.
It seems like this is a place where there's just always snow.
Everything else he had to say, completely asinine and not useful. But the one thing he was definitely clear about, more snow.
He has to fill in that. He's got a 5-minute slot. He's got to fill the time, and he can't just walk out there and go, look, guys, it's going to snow. What else do you want from me? It's going to snow. It always snows.
After the weatherman finishes, we get this montage scene of both of their houses, right? Like one after the other. Basically just to show us they're both living their own sad, separate life that's the same but different.
Yeah, the same but different. Right? Like John's over here eating like Spam and eggs, like all he's got in his fridge, and you go over to Matthau's place or Max's place, and he's just like TV dinners and watching TV all alone.
Well, I want to point out though, because the next time we see this scene, they directly play up the fact that Max, again, like you said, Max is probably eating the cheaper food, right? Like, we can all agree the Spam and eggs may be a little bit lower on the scale than a TV dinner.
Yeah,
right. But they even play it up that Max is like the worst of the two. Because later we see them both doing a TV dinner, and Max does his in the microwave. Not Max, I'm sorry. John does his in the microwave, and Max, as the true like leveled up human being, does his in the oven. And I was like, God damn, can we please show this up? Because again,
Hot Pocket is better in the oven. Just saying.
Well, a lot of things. Again, like I said, it's to play up the fact that John is more miserable, maybe.
Yeah, more
right. Like
more
again,
just like I don't give a shit.
To me, Spam and eggs is lower on the totem pole. Microwaving the dinner is lower on the totem pole
than baking the.
Right, like
I'm going to use my actual oven and take the extra power bill for the 45 minutes it's going to take.
He just strikes me as slightly sadder.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got. Is like he's, not more broke.
Yeah, they're definitely both. They seem the same level.
Well, they're living off their pension.
Yeah. Like, they're the same level. And probably the same place, right?
But I guess
it's that kind of small town, right? Like it's probably the same pension from the same place for the same number of years.
Yeah, probably. They both worked at the factory.
Well, because again, it's since childhood. They've lived there since 10.
Yeah.
Or their whole lives, but they've been friends since 10.
I don't know. I guess John's not as good with his money.
Well,
like Max is better at
no.
investing his
Again,
money,
I'll go
I
into
guess?
depth what it is because they tell us later. It's just stupid and
Yeah, it's
complicated.
Stupid. Yeah,
it's got actually
IRS
nothing to
screws
do
him.
with it's got nothing to do with how he was with his money. Then while they're both sitting there in their own sad squalor, right? They hear an engine rev down the
yeah,
street.
just go.
They both run to the window, ready to be mad as fuck, right?
Yeah, some fucking kids
Some
out
young
here.
dumb punk.
Yeah,
You can see the face. You can see
they're
both
ready to
like,
be just crouchy old man on their porch.
And what do we
right?
see? It's a chick.
It's a chick. It's a red-haired chick.
Young to these guys.
These guys. Still good looking.
Yeah, by no means am I knocking.
Yeah.
And Margaret looks good for her age in this movie.
She's very pretty in this movie.
But again,
She's not 60 like these guys.
even by the age I am today, she's
still
she
older.
at that time is older than me. And
Yeah.
certainly therefore the first memory I have of this movie, she was
Way
you get what I'm
old.
saying? Like, so again, I'm
She's
not trying
my mom's
yeah,
age.
I'm not trying well, she's older than that. I'm not even trying to
when
knock her.
you're 6.
Yeah. So again, I'm not trying to knock her, but she's definitely out of my range. You know, like and
Yeah.
then she's not someone I'm trying to be like, I was ready to
Ooh,
jump
yeah,
on that.
buddy,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, some people like older
Right,
women.
and I'm
you
not that
know.
person.
It's not me.
But yeah, so they do see her. She rides up on this thing, and they're like, what's funny is, so this is my problem with the whole movie, right? Like, we instantly see that John is probably kind of like, oh, wait, I want to get to know this chick.
Yep.
But Max, from this moment forward, until the moment they decide to do the 180 on us, literally looks like he still doesn't care. He sees it's a woman, and he's still like, fuck, that lady is fucking driving up my street like that.
She shouldn't be doing that.
Right?
He's still
Like,
kind of grouchy old man move.
Yeah.
But not as bad because she's cute, I guess.
I don't even know if I even see that.
I'm going to let it go because she's cute.
I don't even know if I see that this early on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the next time we see this, they're going to be talking about it the next morning at Chuck's, and he even tells them he's still upset about it then.
Yeah, I woke me up at 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
in the
he's not
morning.
like, he's not defending it. He's not like it was okay. He's just mad.
He's the angrier of the two. I
Definitely.
do get that sense
Oh,
of like Max is
100%.
definitely the grumpier of the two old men.
But so the next morning we see them, the two of the guys, before they go out to Chuck's, they're talking outside, right? About the guy who died.
Yeah,
Right?
no,
Like, this is funny. He's like, did you hear?
Yeah, he
Who
died.
He's driving down the road.
He got
Head-on
hit
collision.
by a car.
Cleared the bridge.
Is he okay? No, he's dead.
No, Jacob, your son.
No. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
good.
fine.
Probably due to be mayor soon.
I laughed my ass off when they did that. That was so funny.
It was good. Plus, I just want to know. I wish we could see this accident because, dude, like when
Yeah,
you said
it's the way
like
you
got
described
thrown
it,
from the vehicle and
right?
cleared the bridge. I want to see this.
Like 300 feet.
And I feel like John wasn't nearly as invested as he should have been.
No, he's just over. He's just like,
He just
hey,
glossed
he's
right
like,
past it.
screw that. Give me a cardiac any day.
Well, I do love that though. They talk. One of their favorite topics of conversation that they're not arguing about
Is
not
how they
not
want to die.
angrily arguing about. They are still arguing
Yeah.
because they're like, no, you're dumb. It should
They
be this.
bicker.
But it's not an angry. Yeah, it's a bicker. It's definitely that, right? We see them do this multiple times in the movie about what would be the best way or worst way to
Worst
die.
way to go.
Yeah, I think it's such. I guess at that age, you guys are
Yeah, well, I mean, what else is left?
make light of what you got in front of you.
Unless you're John's dad,
Well, I mean,
who has like a completely
I was-
different mentality on it.
And his dad has every right to, because
Yeah.
you look at this movie and you're like, these guys are old.
Yeah,
But we see the dude's dad.
he's 93.
So
he says.
are we allowed to be like, these guys are old?
No.
And it's one of
Especially
those-
the way he acts,
Yeah.
Burgess Meredith acts and stuff. I'm like, no, you guys need to suck
It's
it
one
the
of the.
fuck up.
It's like one of the underlying themes of the movie.
Yeah.
Is like 60s maybe not as old as everybody wants to act.
Yeah,
like
it's
it
still
is.
you still like, can go do stuff. Your life's not over. You don't
Yeah.
have to sit in your house and just stare out the window, which is the predominant theme in this movie of what they do.
Yep.
They do a lot of window staring.
Again, this is the first time we, like I already said, that we get mention of the fact that apparently Jacob Goldman, Max's son,
is running for mayor.
is running for mayor, and not even just running, probably has
has a
the
good chance
shoe-in.
of
Like,
winning.
so when your arch rival neighbor
Has
is
this-
even like, oh no, I love your
Yeah,
son,
your
he's
son is
definitely going to
great.
get it. We can assume that the guy's going to get the job.
Yeah, if you
right?
really hated the guy, you'd be like, I'm not voting for your son out of spite. Fuck
Right.
you, kid.
And so that's not the situation. So we
No.
can assume he's good and he's probably going to get it, right? I mean, so it's just one of those things where you want to touch on since it is the first time it's brought up, and next time I think is already after the election, right? Like this is like
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, I heard you won.
yeah. So I
it's
mean,
like the next time you see
because
him.
they play this movie very quickly. The first time we see them, it's pre-holiday season.
Yep.
But then the next time we skip to holiday season,
Yeah, it's
Thanksgiving.
like Thanksgiving.
Right?
Yeah.
So again, we re-roll the movie rolls through like a couple of holidays. Maybe we should have saved this for a different time. I don't know. It could have been like our bridge between the holiday movies.
Well, they do Christmas too, so
What's
it
that?
could've
Our
been either
bridge.
one. Yeah.
Like Home for the Holidays was our bridge movie, right? Remember it was
This
the
could have
end
been
Thanksgiving.
because we had Thanksgiving shit. We might have fucked up.
It's too late now. Yeah, too late. It is what it is.
Happy Thanksgiving.
The next thing we see though is one of the super awesome parts where they're going to Chuck's
the
bait shop, the bait shop / grocery store. Like you remember our grandpa had a store like this.
Yeah, the old store where we'd go buy the
and that's what it was.
worms and
It was
shit.
like bait / grocery. Like
Groceries,
I mean,
you could
nobody was actually buying their groceries there, but the man still kept like loaves of bread and fucking
and
peanut butter and
for some reason deli meat.
Yes, well, that one made sense. He was trying to hook you up on your way to go fish.
Guess, but
you're gonna get your bait and your sandwich for your fishing trip.
Good though. It looked like
I'm
it'd been
not
there for
gonna
way
say
too
that.
long.
Do you think people like Grandpa cared?
No,
It was edible.
and we ate those sandwiches.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Yeah, anybody old enough, they know this type of
they
place.
know this type of little store, little country store.
And it was so great, though, the friendship involved in this moment, right? So we see John comes up, wrecks into this fucking set of trash
Just
cans.
runs right into him. Walks in. I hit the cans again. Yeah,
like not even the both of them, not even like barely addressing it. Like they say it out loud, but nothing else. They don't acknowledge it in any other way, right? And he just starts rolling into his other crotchety old man problems as he's walking through the store. Give me a 6-pack, some bait.
Give me a bait, not that one shit. Give me what is it? Fucking caviar?
No. So I got these because I thought this was so funny. He said, not the shiners. That's a fish, right? It's a tiny fish.
Yeah.
I want the waxworms. Or maybe shiners aren't. I don't fish enough.
I don't.
I'm not a fish person. I'm not a fish. I mean, I don't fish. I'm not gonna lie.
I haven't been fishing in like 15 years.
I just don't.
It's
it's pretty boring for me.
We used to go on a boat, and it was more fun just.
That's one thing. But like off the shore fishing, it's not my thing.
It hadn't been fun since like Papa stopped taking us.
But yeah, so he gets the cheapest bait though is the main point here, and this is the reason why I wrote it down because it was so funny to me. He says he's got 2 types of bait. That's it, right? And then the one was too expensive. He said no automatically. He said, all right, well, waxworms it is 75 cents. And he goes, too much. How you going to bitch about the only other option? It's not like the man can be like, I've got more this cheaper. He has 2. You already said the one's too expensive. So if it's too expensive and this is the only option, shut your mouth and buy it.
Hope he's got fake bait. You know, the little fake worm.
I don't think that would work for ice fishing. I think ice fishing would require like real food. I've never been.
I have no idea,
but I think so. Yeah, so
Cheese puff.
They are again. They're in that kind of area. We are ice fishing, so he is buying.
I've always wanted to go do this.
I do love when he's. Did you notice what his exclamation when he was upset when he was walking through the store? Crime in Italy, not criminy. Crime in Italy.
I didn't catch that. Crime in Italy.
Yes, dude. It's one of those things where it's just like, oh, I love old people. Right? Like, it's one of those, like, someone in his life said it that way. That's just how he thought it's funny, and he's always done it. And I love hearing
now no one
that
else
type of
gets
thing.
it.
And I want to know if it was, like, the writer who knew someone, or if this was a Jack Lemon, like, he brought to the character.
I feel like it was him.
I hope so, because it was just so funny. Like,
yeah, it seems like something he would come up with.
Crime in Italy.
It's like something his great-grandma said or something.
Then he gets up to the counter, right? And he's getting the stuff rang up, and he goes, oh, yeah, don't forget, beef jerky.
You can't have that. You know your stomach will get all messed up.
Sometimes you got to take that risk.
But he takes it from him. He does not let him have his beef jerky. I was like, man, I just snatched it back from old Chuck and be like, man, fuck you. I'm paying for it. Give it to me.
Maybe he wasn't. Maybe this is one of those things that's like
it's on
store.
a tab.
Yeah. So if you're on
maybe.
tab, maybe he will.
He
he gets the right to be like, look.
You know what? That's fair. If I'm on tab, you have the right to be like, you can't have
because
that.
it's like a long-term fishing thing,
Yeah.
right? So it's the kind of place that might have.
Oh yeah,
like
you
that
would pay
kinda,
at the end of the season and shit.
So maybe we figured out why he's allowed to say you're not buying this.
Yep. That needs. I know your ulcers and shit you have.
Last thing he says as he walks out the door, is the asshole already out, or what?
Is the moron already out there?
Well, you know he is.
He knows who he's talking about,
Right? You know he is. There's plenty of ice out there. Just
Go
leave
fish
each other
somewhere.
alone.
That's the principle.
Then he pulls up. I love this. So this is fish camp. You know, like you got deer camp. You got this is fish camp.
It's
That's
like
what
a
this
shanty
is.
town on the
Yes.
ice. It's awesome.
Well, and it even has a sign. Did you catch
yeah,
it?
it was like Muskieville.
Muskieville. I love that because this is a whole bunch of people that are ice fishing for some muskie, and they talk about the big one that the one guy got, and I'm like, dude, the muskie out here in our lake are twice that size, and they can do that when it's warm out.
Yeah, you don't have to ice fish and get muskie out here. And they're huge.
They're massive. Dude, I've seen muskie big enough to like eat somebody's leg.
Yeah, no, dude, there's some of the ones I've seen people catch. I'm like, that would kill you.
Yeah, and so like, that's why I laughed so hard when I was like, these guys trying to brag about muskie from this ice. I was like, you guys putting some effort in.
You see that shit and you're like, man, and I swim in that lake. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
It's like swimming with sharks.
Take your chances.
Hillbilly sharks. That's what they are.
Yeah, now's our first time we get introduced to Grandpa, right? Like
Burgess Meredith.
And it's literally it's I'm laughing too much already because this is so funny. So it's John talking to his dad about the fact that a new person moved in next door, right? He's like, it's this lady, she moved in, I seen her overnight, and it was, I mean, she making a ruckus with that super. He's bitching about the snowmobile. And he literally, Grandpa looks over at him and it was just like, well, did you mount her?
Right? Did you mount her in that Burgess rough, Meredith voice?
And he said, no. Well, I'd be mounting every woman in Wabasha.
If I were 20 years younger, I'd be mounting every woman in Waukesha. Now
this guy
takes the beer and leaves, like the whole 6-pack leaves him one. There's your tip. Yeah. And then goes back in his little shanty. Like, this is all this old man does is drink beer and ice fishes. Like,
sometimes it's even straight booze. Later on, it's the flask.
Yeah, it's the flask. Did you see on his door? It has a mailing address. So they
he's there all the time
in the shack.
Muskieville is his home.
Pushes it up to the shore when there's no ice, right?
Oh, I'm sure, dude. I 100% can believe that.
I mean, I'd do it. Fuck yeah.
And then we start to see like all these weird, crazy rituals for the ice fishing as people are going, right? Yeah. Like we got the tiny fucking pole from the other
Max
guy.
Has the Green Hornet.
Yeah. And then they've all got like their own little pictures and the things they're dropping in.
I love everybody's little shack has like their own personality and shit.
Yeah, well,
right?
Again, like those things
like John has
take
like
years for your.
Like John has like a lazy boy and his and pictures of his kids.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and Max has like a TV.
We get to see all these, and again, like that's what I was saying. Like it's so I
want to see everybody else.
It's a glimpse into a life that I don't know anything about.
We never get to see inside Grandpa's. I bet you it's full of like old World War II shit.
Yeah, I
captured Nazi medals and stuff because he was a badass.
Do adore these little shacks, but at the same time, this is one of those things I gotta point out. I don't like regular fishing, like shoreline fishing, and this seems like way more boring.
Well, I mean, especially in the 90s before we had like, imagine doing it now with like you could just like hook up a nice TV,
watch whatever.
You could just put your pole in the water and play Xbox.
These guys like fucking dying trying to get the rabbit ears to pick something up while they're sitting out there.
Got the staticky hockey game going.
And again, like most of those shacks are not meant, like you can have a guy come in and talk to you for a few minutes. They're not meant for someone to sit in there with you long term.
Yeah.
Again, if I can't even talk to somebody,
you're not going fishing by yourself.
I'm not fishing overnight.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. Like I said, it's just regular fishing is boring to me, and this is like regular fishing, but like more boring. Like they found a way to make it more boring.
That's why they got to bring all this stuff in the shack for.
And then when they finish fish, so yeah, then we see them. They're there for the night. I guess we don't really get a clear
because it seems like it's morning.
Well, they always seem like it's an overnight trip when they go out to the fishing thing, but they don't ever actually
show
it
because it's never dark when they're.
It's just kind of implied. Yeah, we just never get a real good idea of how long.
They're
but I would assume it's always a day. So we do see the next day them showing off. Well, I get John wasn't even trying to show off. He was actually, if anything,
Yeah,
trying
he
to
was just
hide.
yeah, he was just kind of trying to go inside.
He
with
didn't want
his
people to see how shitty the fish were.
his 2 little fish that he has.
And so, unfortunately, though, Max did see.
Yeah.
And Max's fish are better.
Caught his limit.
Still not the fish that either one ever bragging about.
Right? Like,
I'm
those
not
are
seeing
some,
2 foot long
yeah,
muskies.
like those are some pretty small muskies.
None of those,
man.
I don't even know if any of those were muskies.
Yeah, like we got the, maybe ours are just mutant.
No, they're normal. These guys are fishing something different. I don't know.
They look like carp.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's more than just muskie.
Yeah, maybe they didn't catch muskie.
Yeah. But either way, John's a little upset.
Yeah,
right?
and Max isn't
Little,
helping.
little perturbed
Yeah.
by the fish.
Giving him shit for it. Be like, hey, man, what? It's like that time you caught the 40-foot or the 40-pound muskie
It's
or
a
whatever.
40 inch. So like
Yeah.
almost 2 foot long muskie.
But no, you just had to send it back and blah, all this shit. So John's just like, all right, I'll show you, fucker. He takes the fish and throws it in the backseat of Max's car.
Now, my only problem with this is, if it's as cold as this place is, does that do anything? Especially because of what kind of car Max has,
He has
right?
an old beat up truck.
Like he bought, well,
It's
it's from the
steel.
army.
Yeah.
He bought this thing at like the fucking
Army surplus
store, right? Like they had it fucking outside in the parking lot, right?
Yep.
That thing has no running heat.
Nope.
Right? Or if it does, it's literally a heater that
Just in
blows
front
right,
of-
at,
yeah,
your
right at
face.
your face.
Nothing else. You're not gonna warm that whole
That fish
vehicle
is gonna
up.
be frozen.
There's no,
It's not gonna-
there's no
yeah.
insulating anything in this vehicle. There's none of the luxuries you'd find, right?
Yep. Now, if you did this in like LA,
Or if this were the summer, even.
yeah, or even like, but no, it's just
I don't feel like this.
he's gonna find a frozen fish in the back.
I don't
seat
feel
of
like
his
this
car.
prank works the way the movie wants it
us
to work,
but
right? I'll allow it, but I want to make clear to everybody else so that way if you live
there
somewhere,
was
if you
even
live
less-
in Minnesota,
if there was less ice, even,
Yeah.
like if the snow wasn't like 3 feet thick in places,
but if you live in Minnesota and it's the middle of this kind of cold, below 20 degrees, and the dude drives a car that you know never gets hot,
it's not insulated, it's just like
this won't
steel
work.
framed.
This
Yeah,
will not. It's
no,
as
no,
good
no.
as just keeping the fish in a freezer. So unless you
I
think
mean, I would, dude. I'd just like unplug my freezer in the winter if I lived in a place like this, and I'd just leave shit outside in a bucket.
yeah, I mean, because you could,
Yeah, you
could
could totally get a fucking away with it. Bury it in the damn snow.
Then we cut to middle of the night. This was the craziest, and it is our introduction to our neighbor lady. He gets woke up by banging on the door. John thinks it's the fucking IRS.
The IRS guy,
And
so
I
he
was
tries
like,
to go out the
"Dude, come
window
on now.
again.
The middle of the night, you should have known better.
Right.
The IRS ain't coming to you at 2:00 in the morning.
He panicked.
He did.
So much he just falls. He doesn't even.
But
he doesn't even slip.
In all fairness, this is just as nuts, though. This lady, so it's the new neighbor.
It's like 2
Ariel.
o'clock. Yeah, it's like 2 o'clock in
Ariel
the morning.
The
Traux.
last name was weird, dude. But so she shows up. She just in his face after he fell off his roof, and she's like, "I need to use your bathroom."
Can I go pee? Your
For-
house is
y-
over
she-
there. He
she
even
just
asks
moved
her,
in.
"Is like, is your toilet broken?" She's like, "No, I'm just being nosy."
Well, no, that's why I say the whole conversation inside. They have not introduced each other yet. You can tell they don't know each other's names. And she's like, "I love to do things like this because there's no better way to get to know somebody." And
You
I'm
can
like,
tell
so,
a lot from somebody by their bathroom.
so I was like, this bitch is literally about to start rummaging. She admitted to
Yeah.
you she's about to open up your medicine cabinet and start looking at your shit.
through it.
What the fuck? It's the middle of the night.
Doesn't it get worse here in a minute? Like, doesn't
Well,
she
the
be like,
bitch
"I
is-
have your mail too"?
Well, the bitch is loaded, right?
Yeah,
Like,
she's
we
got.
can- let's
she
address
has a
this.
shit ton of money.
You can tell she bought this house
to
and has
escape LA.
extra cash,
Yeah, she's from
right?
California.
She's got statues and shit. I mean, this bitch got money. She bought that snowmobile.
Yep.
This bitch got money.
She's one of those rich people. It's like, oh, what a quaint little, quiet little town. I'll
And so
move
to
there.
like to burst her way into a neighbor's house like this, and then she does for a split second. She almost gets you on her side, right? Because she's like, "Well, I've noticed you staring at me," and I agree.
yeah,
That's weird. It is.
he was
but-
just looking at the squirrels.
Well, no, he wasn't. He was definitely staring
It's
at
the
her.
squirrels. They were making a nest.
But what? Listen to me. Hear me out. Here's my thing. It's damn near neighborly to watch your neighbor out your window when they're doing something strange, right?
yeah,
Can we both agree on that? It's definitely not unneighborly to do that.
No.
You expect that from your neighbor.
Especially if
You
you
know-
see it and you're like, what the hell?
You know what I don't expect from my neighbor? For them to go all around town and ask everybody who I am and for information about me before they've ever actually met me, which is what this fucking lady just admits to fucking John that she did.
Yep.
She's like, oh, I know your name is this and his name is Max. And she's met neither of them.
Nope. Neither one of them, but went through their mail.
100% insane.
Yep.
Like, certifiable insane.
She's
I-
eccentric.
But that's the way she acts, too. She acts like it's lovable.
Wow, like, oh, I'm just adorably cute.
And it doesn't help that people like John seem to be enamored
Yeah,
by
just
it
like, oh, going for it.
and act like it is. Like it's magic, right? Like, yeah, this is the first moment where I would say the movie truly starts to flash like the rom-comness at you, and you're like,
Yeah.
I didn't get that vibe.
No, I would have been
Before
annoyed.
right now.
I would have been annoyed as fuck. I'd have been like, no, go to your own fucking house and pee if the bathroom's not fucking broken.
Well, all of that. I mean, at this point, she's even back from the bathroom by the time
Right?
she starts to tell us that she knows who Max is and
asks
stuff.
him if he's gay and shit.
She's so fucking weird, man. Like, I can't deal with it. We even start to get, like, do you hear the music? The music starts to do, like, those rom-com,
those,
like, magic twinkling sounds.
the harp noises.
Yeah,
and
and
shit.
I was like, what is happening right now? That's not the movie I signed up for.
no, I want to go back to the grouchy ass old men.
Yeah, I signed up
I
for
don't need
grumpy
this-
old men.
Yeah, I don't need this chick here.
Well, I definitely don't need this rom-com angle, for sure.
Mm-mm.
This, she's magic? Why is she magic?
Yeah, because she like turns when she goes to leave, she like turns around and like finishes his chess game.
Yes, and
for him,
he
like,
even looks
knight
at her
to-
like
knight to king 3
he's
or
like,
something like that.
oh wow,
and
I
goes
was like,
up there and it's just like, oh, check.
I was like, this bitch is still annoying the fuck out of me right
right,
now.
fuck.
So we then cut to the next morning. We see them at the pharmacy.
pharmacy.
This is where we get my MathNet guy.
Your math guy, and we get to
and
compare
more arguing,
pain.
more arguing, bickering with each other. Exactly, comparing pain.
My
Oh, yeah.
sciatica's acting up. Oh, I got the
Sciatica's
lumbago.
What about he's got shingles.
Yeah.
He said, what about the shingles?
I had the shingles. You didn't hear me
Shingles-
complain one time.
Shingles, nothing. You know, when I had ulcers, farted razor blades.
Farting razor blades.
That one was priceless.
It
to
looks
me.
around like, yeah.
That one was
Yeah.
priceless. Farting razor blades.
The pharmacist is just like, oh, god damn it, not this shit again. MathNet guy.
Yeah. Well, and then we have this scene is playing out. It's all pretty. What you can tell is normal. Like
Yeah.
MathNet guy is not.
He's used to this.
Pharmacist is just like bored by their arguing, right? And who the fuck walks in?
Ariel.
Being fucking weird.
Being weird again. She wants her essential oils and
Yes.
blah, and I had to have
The
them
tea
sent-
tree,
yeah,
tea tree oil. Nothing's quite so magnificent on the skin or something
And I'm
like
just
that.
like, I guess I don't really like that smell
Jesus,
personally.
it's so crazy. Like, come on, lady.
But even MathNet guy is sitting there just being like, yeah.
Well, no, but
uh.
is he? He kind of seems enamored. I feel like everybody else buys into this bullshit.
He turns
It's
around, his
just
wife
these
standing
two.
behind him and shit. He's just like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, I'm fine.
exactly.
I wasn't.
It's
I wasn't
just-
drooling."
These two. Well, again, at this point, John is definitely so perturbed by her, but
Yeah.
definitely like in a mysterious,
Yeah, like,
stranger
huh,
kind of way.
You're
like,
weird, but I like it.
and I want to know more about you kind of
yeah,
way. I will die on this hill though that Max
seems
still
really
seems
indifferent.
very annoyed
Yeah, like-
by this bitch. There is no attraction that I see from Walter Matthau towards this character, right? Like, I mean,
no, not yet.
I don't understand. But that wraps up our little rendezvous at the pharmacy. She gets her stuff. She takes off. Now we get to see the Gustafson house again. This time we get to meet Melanie.
Yeah, she
right?
comes over with the grandkid.
And we hear she's having some problems.
Her and her husband have separated.
Probably going to get a divorce. Can't say anything major for
They're
sure
just
yet.
separated. It's not divorce.
Love to hear this moment, though, where you'd think it'd be a Romeo and Juliet type thing, right? Like
Yeah.
her and the Max's son, Jacob.
Yeah.
But it's not at all.
No.
Because literally John's on board. John's
Yeah,
like,
it's just
well,
like- Yeah.
Jacob,
Jacob's gonna
He's
be
doing
married.
pretty all right
He's
for
doing
himself.
pretty good.
you should maybe.
Even later when he runs into him, he's just like, "So my daughter's
Yes.
separated from her husband."
I know. That's
You
what I'm
should-"
saying. Love to see it.
So he's totally trying to
it's
set
good
that
to
up.
see that he's bigger than the rivalry.
Yeah, he's
right?
just like, I don't like
I don't
you,
think-
Max.
I don't
but your
think-
son's a good kid.
I don't think Max is the same. Well, no, I guess later on we see that he is. But he just, the way he acts most of the time, I wouldn't have assumed
Yeah, I
he
wouldn't have
was.
thought he was.
I would have assumed he'd
Yeah.
have been telling Jacob, like, don't fucking talk to that
don't talk
girl.
to her. Fuck her.
Because he's the one that seems way more spiteful.
Vindictive and shit.
Yeah, 100%. While we're here, we get to hear the generational gap, though, between the parent and the child here, right? Like, we have Melanie telling her dad, we're probably going to split up. It's
And
just
he's
not
like,
working.
oh,
And at first,
you got to work at it.
For a split second. I mean, I'll give him.
Yeah, he does the company
fairness,
line, right?
He drops it really quick, though. I will give him that credit.
Like a second
he gives
later.
it. He starts to give her the speech, and he literally doesn't. She doesn't have to say anything. He like sees it on her face and was instantly like,
I didn't like him anyway.
"That was stupid.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have been saying."
He's
that.
like, now that I think about it, I never liked him anyway. Fuck that guy.
And I think this is a good point. We can go ahead and bring this up because the story never outright addresses it. You just kind of get the pieces of it.
Yeah.
His wife left him
because he worked too much. Because he kind of.
Well, I don't even know if he makes it sound like they worked through that. She left because there was marital. Like, I mean, they make it seem like she left for another man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because when he talks,
yeah,
when he talks to Max about it, when he's like,
"Old man fight,"
right? So that's what I mean. Like, so we know that she wasn't a good woman. So this whole speech that he even half a second thought about giving his daughter seems wild.
Yeah.
Like he was going to be like, you got to work through it. And she's like, I watched you work for 20 years to an ultimate goal that was trash. What do you mean, Dad? That's what, I mean, it seems like not only for her sake, because she was getting upset, he should have just literally looked at his life and been like, that's stupid. That's
probably not the best way to go about it.
Wasn't good advice for me. I shouldn't try to give it to you. Right? But no, he did catch himself, but I don't think he caught himself for the right reason. I think he only caught himself because her face. Like he was just like, she's getting mad.
She doesn't want to hear that right now.
He didn't catch himself by being like, oh yeah, that wasn't
that
true.
realization isn't until later.
Yeah, so we see though that there is this generational gap, but he does a very good job of like coming to terms with the fact that he shouldn't, times are different.
What you need to do to
times
be
are different. She needs to leave her husband. She should leave her husband.
It doesn't help that later we find out he's basically like a drunk.
Yeah, we'll get there. This is though when she looks out the window, and we see more of Ariel being a goddamn nut.
She has built like a sauna, and she decides to run out of it and
dive into the snow
and roll
repeatedly.
Around.
Did you know? Like she went back in just.
Laughing and giggling, waving at the people looking at her like she's crazy.
Well, and literally Melanie looks at John and is like, do you know her? He's like, I don't know her. And then she yells to him specifically.
Yeah. Hi, John.
Cue Melanie just.
Yeah, sure,
Is that right, Dad? You don't know her?
Shut up. I want to hear it right now.
Love that scene. It played out really well. Yeah. Those two played off of each other really good for that. This is the we cue the nighttime and we get to see, this is the one where I was telling you where like we see John with the microwave dinner, and man of class that he is, Max cooking his in the oven.
In the oven.
Right? If you're gonna do it
right. A little like slower cook.
Plan it out a little bit ahead.
If you have like the fried chicken, like the Hungry Man,
it's gonna get you crispy skin.
Yeah, just cut the film off, put it in the oven. Like so nice.
I'm not telling you that's great, but I'm telling you can make it better. You can make it better.
It's not soggy.
This is also the point where this is our first time seeing Jacob, right? He comes over
and shit, and then Max starts fucking with John's TV.
Well, yeah, no. As soon as he walks in the door, he's dropping off the sign.
Yeah,
right? He's trying
Jack Goldman
for mayor. Yeah, and he's trying to. Max tries to talk him in, and he's like, "Come on, come in, have a drink with me. Come on, you can hang out for a minute." He's like, "No, I gotta drop off." All of these
things. He has like a armful of them.
And he's like, no, you can just one.
Just one. Come on.
He didn't even say yes. He was just still inside, not having walked back out yet. And then he goes, oh, you got to give me just a minute.
Yeah, well, what time is it? Because his little alarm goes off.
He runs over. I love this. This is the kind of thing you
I guess you could have done in the 90s. Can you do it now?
If to the TV itself, universal remotes.
Yeah, that's true. You could universal
cable boxes gets a little trickier though, right? Like because you got to like sync them up through the apps and whatnot nowadays. But yeah, cable, like the straight TV, you could probably still do this. But yeah, this was so beautiful because he's got a universal remote programmed to his neighbor's TV. Because again, as long as your infrared can
as
point
long as
at
you
it,
can see it, and
it's
right.
gonna go.
The problem with having your windows open all the time.
Yeah, and so he's got it set up. It literally while John is waiting to see the
lottery numbers.
flip,
Keeps changing the channel every time the fucking
it's
number comes
fucking
up.
beautiful, dude. I love that.
So Kid John gets some revenge
Well,
on him.
Well, as soon as he sees this happen, though, gives us a little bit of our exposition about these two, right? This is when we find out they've been fighting since 1938, right? Like, because at first the kid says 40, and he's like 38.
It's very important, and he started it,
right? And it's just like, okay, dude.
All right, goddamn. I mean, I like fucking 40 years there.
Oh no, dude, it's almost 60. This movie came out in 93.
Yeah, in the 90s, that's right, yeah.
93. It's literally like 3 years off of being a 60
years. That's a long time to hold a grudge.
Even at that time. Yeah,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, geez, like that's a long time. A long time to hold a grudge. But so he clearly tells he's not going to get anywhere to his dad when he's talking to him. This is so awesome. He walks outside and he sees John
he's spraying the snow.
He already sprayed him through the window, right? We almost skipped that. He sprayed him through the window, and then after spraying him through the window, he then sneaks around and he's spraying the roof, right?
Yep.
So that way, now this is great. He doesn't do it right. It's so that way when they wake up, they'll slam the door
and all the snow will fall off.
But he didn't do it with the right temperature water.
Yeah, you gotta use hot water, you putz.
Yeah, I love the moment though that he sees him, right? That Jacob walks around the corner and he's just like, God damn it. Like I was just defending
you, man.
You fucktard. What are we doing right now?
He's just like, don't tell your dad. He's just like,
of course not.
If I can put one of these signs in your yard, I won't say anything.
I love that. He goes, well, I was gonna let you do that anyway.
I'll let you do it anyway, man. I hope you win.
Yeah, of course. Why?
Because John, I think John actually genuinely likes Jack.
Oh, he does. He 100%.
does.
They both genuinely like each other's children.
Yeah.
Because they both genuinely like each other. Again, this is one of those. It's all surface level hatred. Like deep down, there's no actual hatred.
That is my best friend, but I don't want anyone else to know that.
That's 100. Like right. That's what it is.
But we all know it.
I want a friendship like that.
Right?
When I'm an old man,
where you just rib on each other all the fucking time,
and nobody's gonna get mad.
Yeah, nobody gets mad.
Not real mad, at least. You know what I mean? Like, this is when we see the next morning. He comes outside, steps out. Literally, John's watching.
He's just watching it,
bated breath, waiting for it to happen. Doesn't work.
No, it doesn't
and
work.
He tells him.
He does. Max is just like, you got to use hot water.
You idiot.
You idiot. And gets in his car and drives away.
Well, and did you notice what he was doing? John was shoveling his snow onto the tires
of Max's car.
But again, this is the first time you get a real good look at his car, right? The first time we know he threw the fish in, but they don't really do the zoom out shot of this crazy army surplus. This is the first time where you see it, and he drives over the snow, and you're like,
it's nothing.
Well, and again, you see it, and you're like, well, of course not. Why did you think that was going to stop this beast of a Jeep
makes
thing?
It feel better to try,
right? I guess. But I mean, looking at that thing, it's like,
this thing is definitely 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, well, and this is the reason he bought it. Yeah, right. Like he bought it so that way he didn't have to worry about snow,
shovel his snow anymore.
And so it's just
unlike John, who's driving like a Buick.
Yeah, you schmuck.
You schmuck.
Putz. Can't believe you. But yeah, it was one of those moments where it's just like, I know you thought you were doing something, but were you?
Yeah, I made him feel better. I'd have thrown it on top of his car so he'd have to clean the windshield off.
While he's driving, he discovers the fish.
What is the smell?
He's just like, what is that? Cuts a guy off in the road.
Right.
Causes a wreck
because he's looking for shit, and he gets all the way to the bait shop.
Chuck's, yeah, he gets all the way to Chuck's.
I love it. It's after their whole conversation, which we'll talk about in a second. I just love at the end. He's like, Chuck, is it me? I had a weird smell in my car. Is it me? And Chuck just looks at him and goes, yes. And he's like, damn it.
But before we get to that, he's at the bait shop. While he's at the bait shop, I love it. Right now, it's just Max and Chuck. It's before John shows up, and Max looks at Chuck and he goes, look, she's been buying candles and these weird oils and these other things. I'm telling you, she's into the occult.
She's a witch. She's into some witch stuff.
And it's just like, shut up, dude. Like, stop it right now.
That's exactly what it is, though.
But
But
then
the only use for candles, right?
then and then John shows up, and John's hearing some of this. John's even kind of like, "What are you
Oh,
even
yeah,
going
shut
on
up."
about? Stop it!" And he's like, "I mean, anyway, I think she's kind of all right,
Yeah.
right?" He's like, "I think she's okay. I think I could." And then he starts to say something about how he thinks he can actually get her, not in like a braggadocious kind of way, genuinely like a 60-year-old man who's
Yeah.
lonely, saying, "I think I could get a date with this girl." But then then Max has to turn it up on him, right? Max is like, "Oh, you couldn't if you wanted to. It's more something that I could do." Me and women, it's like one of those fatal attraction things
Right.
you see on TV.
On TV, they just can't help themselves. And fucking John's just over here like, I've laid more pipe in whatever fucking
Oh yeah,
town
they start
this
getting
is
dirty.
than you have. And Chuck's just over
Chuck
just like,
calls them
calls
both
them
out.
both out on it. Like,
Neither one of y'all gonna do bullshit, and you know how I know?
because I'm about to.
Well, no, he didn't even say that. Well, that's because that's what really
Yeah,
happens.
that's what happened
He
later.
doesn't even say that to him. He says, "I know y'all a bunch of bullshit because you're sitting here right now
About to go fucking
and
ice
not
fishing
talking to
and
her.
not talking to her. Yeah.
You're here. Y'all a bunch of bullshitters. You can't do shit. You wish you could, because if you could, you'd be doing it."
Yep. But nope, you in here with me.
Boom. This is when we get the "Do I stink?"
Yeah, do I
Like
stink?
John leaves first.
Yeah, and then Max is just like, man, for real.
But really,
do I
though.
smell bad? Yes. Yes, you do.
And he goes,
Damn it.
He goes out to the car because he finally realizes it's not him. Like,
Him.
he still smells it, but he knows it's not as strong.
Because
Got to
when
the
he
car.
opens the door,
Yeah, he got
he's
to the
like,
car
no,
and
it
he
is
was like,
definitely
"Oh shit!"
And then he finds the
He
fish.
finds the fish, and literally he didn't even need for John to be snickering in the background because he
He knew.
recognized that fucking tiny
little
fish. And so he knew it was him. But on top of that, John is literally putting past him in his car, snickering.
Just like, ha, ha, ha.
"You schmuck."
He gives him the Nelson, the ha, ha.
Again, the trade backs of schmuck and
Putz,
and
dickhead, moron.
It's so great, dude. This is another one of those scenes that really just hammers home I can't ice fish. They're back on fish camp, for the day.
Yeah.
Looks so boring. Green Hornet, though.
Oh,
man.
yeah,
this is the sad time, dude.
He's looking at it like, don't move. I'm like, then why don't you instead of
But
telling it not to move, why don't you grab it?
That's what he's supposed to. You're supposed to. He's still regular fishing.
I guess, but like it's
to me,
about to fall
in. If you've got a pole that small, because that's a kid's pole,
yeah,
we can't lie.
it's a little ducky
Yeah,
wooden pole.
you certainly should. Like a real size pole, it's not gonna. It'd be a lot harder for it to get angled perfectly to suck down the ice hole, right?
Keep your foot on the.
But
ass
when
end
your
of it.
pole is this long,
yeah, it's literally like
it's a lot
long,
easier for it to angle down into the hole,
which is exactly what happened, and it's gone.
Oh,
and he flips out. He like goes outside with the axe. And
I was gonna
shit.
say we can even jump. They're gonna give us a couple other things first. No, he flips out. He grabs an axe
and is trying to chop through the ice
middle
to get
of the
back
ice,
of it,
straight down to exhaustion.
Right,
dude.
he just gives up. Just goes back into his thing. I felt bad for him. It was really sad.
Now the thing that we see before we saw him with the axe though was them dropping off Gramps, or no, it wasn't dropping off. John was going to see Gramps in the morning, right? This was his angry time. Like Gramps is kicking back the flask, and he says, "Let me see
Give
that."
me some of that.
Gramps says, "I'm just finishing up breakfast."
I'm just
he kicks it back. And he says, "I see that. Let me see it."
Give
I
me
love
some.
that answer. I was just finishing up breakfast.
Yeah, no, it was just some good old Kentucky bourbon. Too,
That was and that was all of breakfast, right? Like there was no food.
All you need.
It's
got everything you need. It's got corn.
There wasn't even coffee. There wasn't even a slice of bread.
Nah,
it was just the fucking
just some
flask,
bourbon.
dude.
Yeah.
But I love when this was going on, right? He's smoking the regular cigarette. He goes, "You're supposed to be smoking filtered, Pa. You know that."
She's like, "Well, I'm not."
They're better for you.
Of course they are. You're not going to get those bits of tobacco in your mouth.
What a wild health time, right? Like that was a real thing back then too. They would say stuff. Lights were better for you.
Yeah, lights were better for you.
Not that they're all the same level of not fucking good for you, which is what it really let's
is.
all be fucking intelligent. I smoke.
Me
it's
too.
bad for you.
We shouldn't do it, but don't sit there and try and be like, no, this one's better
Don't trick
for you.
yourself.
Be like, go fuck yourself. I know it's bad.
Gramps was right all along.
Yeah, he's like,
right?
I'll smoke the non-filters.
I'll smoke whatever I want. What's the fucking matter? Am I age? You can tell me.
These are the cigarettes they issued me in World War II.
And if they were good enough then,
with.
And it's like, yeah, fuck right.
I agree.
And
Hell yeah.
well, he is right. Like, again, now that we know what we know, and we know that they were
it's
just
not gonna freaking matter. Smoke whatever the hell you want.
you take your poison however
Yeah.
you want to take it, sir.
Don't smoke. It's bad for you.
Yeah, 100%. We're not condoning that or endorsing it. We're just
But if you
saying.
have to, just no, it doesn't matter which one.
Know that you can.
They're
take
all
your
gonna
pick.
kill you.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, then do however you want to.
Yeah. Pick
If you wanna
whichever one.
smoke those, if you want to smoke those fucking cherry dipped cigar things, like those little cigarillo cigars, do that. If you want to smoke a real cigar, smoke a cigar. If you want to smoke cigarettes, do that.
I lost my spot.
We saw them. This is officially when they noticed Max.
Oh yeah, over there chopping through the ice and shit.
And he's like, "What the hell is going on?" No, they don't even talk to
Yeah,
him.
they
about
don't
it,
even
right?
talk to him
he
about
doesn't
it to find out what it is.
Then we cut to it's Jacob talking to John in the front yard, right?
Yeah.
This is when he tells him like they're splitting up.
They're splitting up. You should move
You got a
in
real
on that.
shot here. I'm just telling you, you should do it.
Go
And
for
he's
it,
just
man.
like, oh, come.
Oh,
no.
I don't know.
The whole time, right? He's always like a putsy kind of like, I don't know about that.
I'm not good enough.
But
You're
then we
running for fucking mayor.
and then they start talking about the lady, right, Ariel next door, and I don't even know. I wasn't. I watched it multiple times. I couldn't tell you exactly how the conversation went, but I know it ends with him deadpan looking at fucking Jacob and going, "I haven't had sex in 15 years,"
and then just walking back inside, and Jack's just like, okay.
Again, like it. I could not for the life of
I don't either.
tell you what the beginning part of that conversation
I don't either. That's
was.
all I remember too.
The deadpan. He's so.
Because it's just out of fucking nowhere. He just says something before it, and then he's just like, I've had sex in 15
literally,
years.
like, even Jacob is kind of just like,
what the fuck?
Okay.
Yeah, all right, that sucks. I will agree.
Okay. Right, and this was Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
Because, again, that's the last time we had seen Melanie was them arranging dinner.
Yeah,
and then we see them now is when everybody's showing up for their different Thanksgivings.
Yeah.
That's why Jacob's there. Melanie is over at John's. Everybody's doing their thing.
They all kind of visit each other and then eat.
And then they see from their windows that night, collectively, right?
Yep,
John sees from his house.
Yeah.
Max from his house.
Fucking Chuck rolling up to Ariel's place.
What
with
the
wine
fuck?
and the flowers looking slick.
The
My
twist,
man Oz gonna go
twist
get
no
him
one
some.
saw coming, even though he told them.
He told them, if you don't go talk to her, someone else will, meaning me.
Yep. Didn't see the
My brother moved in smooth.
Was it Grandpa says? Grandpa looks over. Looks like he's taking the old old one-eye to the optometrist. God damn it, Burgess. They let him say the raunchiest
Very
things.
into the movie, the fucking bloopers of all the different takes of that.
But yeah, I loved it. It was such a good line. The three-way competition, though, this is the part where I was saying there was no interest that I saw.
Yeah.
There was no interest from Max
until right
to
now.
Ariel until this moment.
Yeah.
I literally, if Walter Matthau was acting in a way that he thought we were reading that, he was
failed.
wrong because I don't see it.
I don't either. It seemed like from up to this point he didn't care, but as soon as Chuck made a move, he was like, "Oh, it's a game now. I have to play."
Yeah, up until this point, you could have told me it was strictly a rom-com between between John and Ariel, and I'd have been like, "Yeah, 100%. That's what it is."
Nope.
Apparently not.
Apparently, we were supposed to pick up that Max is just as into her too from the grumpy ass looks.
I guess.
Grumbles.
But so they both
That's how he flirts.
They both race over to Chuck's place the next morning.
But they both knock over the trash cans.
Yes, because
that was great.
Run inside, asking him questions. Well, at first
did you
they
see the game last night,
and he's like, "Yeah,
no, boys, I didn't."
Well, he tries to play along at first, right? He doesn't want them to know, and then all of a sudden they're just like, "All right, let's cut to the chase.
Yeah,
You're fucking lying.
We saw you son of a bitch.
Don't fucking do that."
How was she? Don't lie to me.
Well, then before he can even answer, they start being like, "Oh, couldn't get it up."
Ah, that's what it is.
Right? They don't even know anything.
The flesh was willing.
They don't even
the
know
soul was willing,
anything
but the flesh
about
was
it
weak.
yet, right? Like that, he's not even said one word about what happened. It's just because he didn't answer quick enough.
Immediately say, "Yeah."
But so then he does start to say his piece, right? And he's like, "Look, I'm not going to talk about that. That's not civilized people don't do things like that. I mean, that's not how he put it.
I will tell you that she made me feel alive. Angels are real, boys.
Magic. Why the fuck are we
Yeah.
doing magic again? Why is she supposed to be magic? Where is fucking magic
I
coming
don't know,
from?
but
What the fuck is this
But now she's
storyline?
like a magical angel that makes you feel alive and shit.
Yeah, she's an angel.
I love Max though. He just looks at me like,
Couldn't get it up.
couldn't get it up.
You could just say that.
You
don't
can
gotta
just
make
tell us,
things
man.
up.
It's, we're just guys here. It's fine.
These stories are crazy.
And he's just like, whatever, boys.
Now we get the "I'm too sexy" montage.
Yes, I loved this shit.
Old guys,
Old
getting
men
cleaned
trying
up.
to get sexy, shaving.
He pulls the Macaulay Culkin. Jack Lemon doing the Macaulay Culkin
With
was
the aftershave.
something I never knew I needed in my life, but was beautiful, right?
It was fantastic.
But yeah, this was so crazy because you're just like, again, like out of nowhere, where did this come from? Like Jack Lemon makes it. Like again, like John was interested. Max
Can't let John have it.
well, again, that is actually what it is.
Not
we
without,
find out,
not
right?
without some kind of resistance.
I do love though the card that he had up his sleeve, right? The box of chocolates, the 80-year-old box of chocolates.
He pulls it out, and blows the dust off of it.
Why did he have them?
I don't know. And B, that chocolate would have been bloomed to fuck.
It would have been.
It would have been white.
It would have been
that weird
mold.
Yeah, that weird speckly.
It would have been a rock hard piece of mold.
It would have not been good.
Yeah,
that was the chocolate he used to propose to his wife with,
and she never opened the package.
Never opened
right?
it.
Something weird, dude. It has to be
cheap dollar store chocolate from 1945.
But so he makes it over there first with his fucking box of chocolates.
Poor John, because he even had the nice hat.
John,
I liked the hat that he settled
and John
on.
looked hurt, man.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean, again, like that's the thing, and that is the real thing. We find out through
later,
the movie. He's the one that really cares.
Max is
maybe
just
not
trying
so
to
much.
take it from him.
And because again, you never see Max truly hurt this way.
No,
not about this per se, right?
No.
But John, yeah, we'll get there soon. We're not too far. Like we're rolling along pretty good. Yeah. So he gets inside though. He sees her house. He starts again. This is why they're not meant for each other.
No.
He's just like bagging on her shit left and right.
This is dumb.
She says she went to Berkeley. Oh,
that
that explains it. Right? Like I was just like, dude,
and
you're
then
a
he
dick.
is like super intimidated by the statue of her ex-husband.
Dude,
keeps eyeballing that junk.
He doesn't measure up, dude.
No, he doesn't.
Ernest was quite the man.
He really was. That was an accurate statue. He was like 6'8".
He makes fun of her fishbowl inside the TV.
Yeah, because
I love that.
That was awesome. He's
now,
like, well, how do you watch TV?
Now, the only thing is, if I were to do it, it would be a legit fishbowl. Like, I would be gutting the insides and
waterproofing it.
Yeah, so that way the whole piece of glass was fish. Not this, which was just like gutted with a fishbowl sitting
like
inside.
Abstract art.
I get it. I understand. But I would do it. I would go
legit,
the full.
Legit. I want to, with a light, you put the power button to a light in the back, and when you turn it on, it backlights the fish bowl so you can see the fish swimming. That would be dope.
So, did you notice how much skin they try to make her show in this scene?
Yeah,
she's wearing the she's got one strap, so that way you can tell no bra, right?
Because the one shoulder is like completely bare, sexy.
And then again, just totally like it's way too much.
Trying to overplay that Max might have more of a shot than he does, I guess.
Well, especially from the way she talks here in just a few minutes. Like she's nothing, right? Like she literally like he's just my friend.
Yep, just my friend. They go fishing.
Right? So say what it's very strange. It's very weird. It's very uncomfortable almost the way they are with each other in the scene. She starts to flirt with him and she hits him with the painting. Do you paint?
Yeah, I paint the shed every spring. It's not at all what I fucking meant, man.
Sir? Not what I meant.
She's like, no, like actual like painting for art and stuff. And he's just like, nah, that's dumb.
We see them eating, and I only want to point this out to you because it bothered me so bad. Like Walter Matthau was eating. Like he was actually eating. And not so much.
She didn't like what she cooked?
Well, no, it was she like again, I'm saying the actor's name. It's the actor. Like he on camera was physically actually eating whatever it was, right? That's fine. That's great. If you decide to do that, that's good. If you're gonna fake it, you should be good at it. This bitch is not good at it. That's what I'm saying. Like if you watch her,
she is pretending
it is
eating, and
the
it's obvious.
worst looking fake eating I've ever seen. And to be sitting next to a guy who's actually eating, it just makes it
with gusto.
Yeah, it makes it stand out that much more. And so it was just one of those things where I was like, I know
I
I shouldn't.
like the Big Bang fake eating, where they're like, you could tell, like,
yeah, it's that kind of level, and so
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where I'm like, I know I shouldn't be taken out of the scene that much, but it really is jarring because
eat the food.
like especially the drasticness between the two of them, like him really doing it and her just no
going for
commitment to it at all, and it's just like, man, you guys are this. I don't know why, but it bothered me so bad. Like I was just like, you guys and your eating. You guys and your fucking eating. The next morning, we hear him. He's singing "Heat Wave."
Yeah, when he's going out to get his, because he had a good night, and they're gonna
Getting her ready. They're
gonna go fishing.
He's getting everything ready in the car. Take her out fishing. He's taking her out to the lake for the night. Again, we assume the night because
because
they always make it seem like it's overnight.
Yeah.
She catches a fish.
She does. She catches the fish that everybody's always talking about. This like gigantic, huge fish.
This shit fucking killed me too. If nothing else proved they didn't need to be together.
No.
They separate at core beliefs so bad here.
Because he wants to throw that thing up on his wall.
Or eat it, or he wants
take a picture of it, anything.
At no point does he want to put it back in the water.
No.
And she only wants to put it back in the water.
And she's got a fun little speech for it and everything before she goes to throw. But he's desperately trying to find that camera. He's
He
like,
does
no,
not get to it in time. Does not. He definitely.
No one will believe me.
At best, he got a blurry tail.
Right.
Like if he got anything.
For the last second.
Now I only point this out because again, John is okay with this, right? Because he made fun of him because that's why the big one.
Yeah, because he only keeps the ones he's going to eat.
So, to me, it's just proof that we should have that Max should have even noticed along.
Yeah,
the
like
way.
I don't like this.
Oh, she's not actually for me.
She's not right.
She's clearly
for me.
not for me.
Even though she did come fishing with me, she's doing it wrong.
Now, when Max shows up, right, or not? I mean, when John shows up to the fish camp, he goes out to his dad's place, just casually talking to his dad.
Yeah.
What does he see?
His dad has caught the green hornet.
The only thing he caught all goddamn day
was that fucking fishing pole. He's like, I don't even know what it is here, but John's just like, oh,
I know what this is. I know what this is.
Yeah. He starts to go to give it back.
No. He runs to. He was gonna go tell Chuck.
Oh yeah.
This is how he finds out.
Yeah, he goes
Chuck's dead.
to tell Chuck.
He runs back away from fish camp down to the bait shop. He was gonna tell Chuck. Literally, it's in his hands when he's running up to the shop.
But the door's locked. You stupid fuck.
And he forgot to unlock the back door.
Yep.
Let me go around to the front. Walks around the front.
The sheriff's locking up the
the sheriff's locking, and he put up a closed sign. And again, like, I don't know about you, but at first I was like,
the fuck?
Yeah, well, what's the sheriff got to do with closing this place? It took me a minute
to be like,
he died.
That's
I was like, that they could have been a lot clearer about that.
Really? Because it's just the sheriff leaving.
I was like, I don't understand what's happening. He left for the season? What's going on? I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like,
he got arrested?
I don't
right?
Get
like,
it.
Chuck went to jail. Damn.
He got a little too free.
Yeah, he had this big awakening and he started running through the streets naked. Now he's in jail.
No, I don't know about you, but at this moment, I instantly was like, "Oh, she's an angel of death." Fuck this bitch.
There's a much darker story here. She's going around killing these old men. She's a black widow.
And then what? It could have been. It would have worked that way. And it's so great because like literally after this moment happens is when you saw you see her and Max and they're ending their kind of date, and she gives him like the kiss on the cheek, and I was like, "No,
don't do it, man.
No, kiss of death,
kiss
dude.
Of death.
Kiss of death. Stay away from that bitch." And again, like I was just waiting for like John to run up with this same kind of theory,
right.
And he doesn't. He does run up to tell Max about like,
Chuck's dead.
Did you hear?
Yeah. Then they start fighting about.
Well, they're in the backyard.
Yeah, because he's like chopping wood.
He throws that axe, dude. When they start fighting, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go there."
With the axe, he chucks it behind him
with reckless abandon, dude. He didn't pay attention to shit all.
There's other houses, man. Somebody.
He could have hit a person. He could have hit a dog. He could have hit. That was insanity.
Hit a person, that's fine, but hitting a dog is unforgivable.
That was. I'm just telling you, that was just straight
blatant
insanity.
Disregard for the safety of others there. But I love that shit. They're like, I'll fight you right now. Let's go. I whipped your ass back in like
Yeah.
1940. I'll do it again.
Well, he says 37, and I only noticed it because that's a year earlier than they said the rivalry restarted.
Yeah, because he said 38 earlier. So the fight happened before the rivalry started. So the fight was the
friendly.
catalyst.
Yeah.
Just it was
pseudo-friendly at the time.
And then it just spiraled downward from
Well, again, we know what the actual friendship end was.
Yeah.
We get told that very soon now.
Yeah.
But it was, the 37. Well, again, I will also admit that when you're talking 60 years, it's a...
Yeah, what's a
if
year?
you're off by 1 or 2,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think you're still
I'd say your memory
good.
is pretty crisp still.
This, however, is when John is fed up, right?
Yeah, he goes inside and I'm watching this and I'm like, no, don't
I
be
did
this
not.
guy.
I was totally not okay with this.
Don't be that guy. He just snaps the fishing pole, the green hornet.
Yeah, they got
like,
finished with their argument with each other. Max is just like, screw you.
Yeah.
She likes me. She chose me. Dumb argument. And so John runs inside and he snaps his pole. Bitch.
That
dude.
was a little too
He's
far,
had this
man.
thing since he was like 10. This dickheaded, dude.
Right.
I was not okay with it.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching it being like, no, don't do that.
But he was so angry, he got himself busted.
Yep.
Walked straight into...
Yeah, because he hears a knock on the door and
Snyder.
He goes to yell at fucking... He thinks it's Max. Yeah. And it's the IRS guy.
Snyder.
Fucking
I got his name this
tax
time.
man fucking cometh.
And he's like, look, you need to come with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Well, that's amazingly
I don't think
easy.
that's how that works.
Right?
They just take you?
Well, and that's, as far as we know, that is what happened, right? He takes a cab back. So that means that he didn't even drive himself to whatever the fuck this was.
Half-assed arrested by the IRS.
But then he gets in his house and he hears noises. He thinks it's his cat, calls his cat. Cat's there, still hears the noises. He's like, what's going on? This bitch is crazy. That's what's going on.
His fucking house.
She's only talked to him that we have seen
once.
For 5 minutes when she also kind of broke into his house to use the bathroom.
Now she has completely broke into his house to cook, what was it, like Szechuan
chicken.
Which sounds great,
and he doesn't like spicy food. This bitch is crazy.
But that works for John, I guess, because
it does.
He's just for it.
Like, for me, the whole time I'm seeing this stuff, I'm just like, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Nothing about this bitch seems good.
Need a restraining order.
Everybody else in this movie is like, no, she's amazing. She's wonderful.
She's quirky.
No, this bitch is crazy.
No, she's nuts. I would have been, get the fuck out of my house.
But so then
clean up my kitchen.
Well,
first
and we're talking, and that
was
was our first time where we get to hear what his job was.
He was a history teacher.
So again, like we thought, like pension, we were convinced earlier, factory work
or something.
He was a teacher, but my problem here is, as someone who wanted to be a teacher, she's talking to him like, you know, like when you have that connection with your students, and you on a different level. This man literally doesn't know what she's talking about. Like, no. I'm not even saying like he was just like didn't want to bring it up or just kind of brush past it. You can tell he genuinely was like, that's a foreign concept.
Yeah, because like she's just like he's like, I touched a kid once
when I smacked him
in the back of the head for sleeping.
I was just like, look, I've got no respect for that kind of teacher. You know what I mean? Like, you should genuinely be caring about enriching somebody's life.
Nope, he was probably the worst kind of history teacher.
100%.
Where it was like, you memorize this date.
Again,
regurgitate it back to me
like
later.
a lot of John, but this part of him, I was like, dude,
I bet he was a shitty
hate
teacher.
you as an educator.
I would have been a problem student in his class.
Now we get another trip out to fish camp.
Yep. He's basically just fishing. His dad tells him that he sucks getting old, right?
Well, and he still didn't sleep with her yet, right?
Yeah. He's just like, if you're not going to mount her, send her to me.
They still just had dinner.
Yeah, they just had dinner.
Despite the fucked up nature of it being in the middle of the night and him coming home.
Yep. I guess it's like the whole point was like the experiences matter is what he was trying to tell him. Don't be afraid to go do shit.
That's what he's saying. But at the same time,
he listens because
next mount her.
Yeah, dude, go fuck that bitch.
No, he does listen. He rides the snowmobile with her. They go up to the top of the.
Terrified the whole time.
Right, they go up to the top of the hill.
Yeah, the nice point where they go and look down and see the whole
all of
city.
Wabasha.
All of Wabasha.
And then they do the snow angels. They are both so stiff,
Right?
right? They both are like,
They could barely move the arm, right? Like they're like very gingerly laid down and stuff.
well, again,
And then
it's not
he
even.
ruins his. He like rolls over on it and then rolls back.
I think they fell all right. Again, it's just how stiff they get. Like when I do it, I don't like turn myself into like a rock
No.
and fall, and that's how they do it. Like like I was like, damn, dude,
Yeah,
like
just statue fall over.
I was like, you guys are intense. Like if anything, they were more likely to get hurt
Yeah,
the way
you
they did
need
it
to-
at their
you need to
age. That
Tuck
was
your chin.
that was
throw
a
your arms out.
at their age. That was a risky play. The way they both decided to hit the snow.
My hip. Oh God.
We need to make sure to point out because again, I think this just ties back to how stupid and how much we don't understand what happened with the IRS when they left the house. The IRS man was banging on the door,
Yep.
screaming, "We had an appointment." What the fuck happened 2 nights ago?
Right? Like what the fuck?
What did they talk about that kept him away until the middle of the night when a taxi dropped him off at home?
Just all the shit he did wrong and how much the government is angry
So
with
then what
him.
is this appointment supposed to be for?
We're just negotiating price now, I
Do you,
guess.
you
I
see
don't
what
know.
I mean? Like, it was so weird. I was like, what?
I'm back to make you feel worse.
Right? Like, I was like, this guy doesn't even need to be here.
No.
Fuck this guy. We get to see Max being depressed at home, watching TV.
Yeah.
Right? Seeing this shit going on. I love that we get to see the look of how depraved he is with his TV. He's just switching back and forth between religion.
The televangelist and the chick crazy sex working out, whatever that was.
Well, dude, that was just
gyrating.
That was just 90s workout TV, dude. That wasn't even like special. That was
Just move.
that was you could find 100 of those
Right.
type of workout specials on TV.
That's not how you work out. This is just to get dudes to buy.
Like
the
I said
video.
again, that's the depravity of the 90s right there for you. It was so
What he
beautiful.
does, he like flips over to that, goes over to like the chick.
He stayed on it long
felt
enough
guilty
to
went
flip back.
Went back
right?
to the church.
That's exactly how I read it. I was like, just long enough to feel
just long
guilty.
enough to feel guilty. Like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. And then Ariel and John are playing chess.
Yeah, and then we start to see them look through his pictures, right? She's talking to him.
And we see the picture of him and Max when they're like 10 years old and they're fishing poles.
Yeah, before we even get to that one, did you notice? And this is one of those things I wanted to wait to point out that proves that like whatever relationship he had with his ex-wife or dead wife, I don't know because they don't really give us a good explanation. Former wife. There's not a single picture of her.
Oh, I didn't notice that. It does. It just
He
kind of
points
it's
out
his dad.
they had multiple children together because there's a dead son that died in Nam.
Yeah, that sucked.
And so he had multiple children with the woman.
That bitch is not on that wall.
She is not up there. Not one. There's not
one
a wedding day
picture,
picture. There's
nothing.
not anything.
I didn't notice
This is
that.
my point to say. This is the woman they fought over. We're close enough we can even go ahead and say that.
Yeah, this is the whole
They
beef.
don't like each other because they fought over a woman once before.
And John won and Max
John
never
won,
forgave him.
Right? But she was not a good woman.
No, she wasn't. She
was
like,
such a
cheated on
bad
him
woman
and
that
shit.
he doesn't even have a picture today
right.
of this woman that
In his house.
produced 2 children for him.
Fuck her. She's a
So you see
terrible
what I mean? Like,
bitch,
this
but
is what I
for
was saying
some reason,
earlier.
Max won't let it go.
Yep, exactly. This is what I was saying earlier. Like Max is the dickhead because obviously John didn't win.
Yeah.
Right? Like he won the girl, but he didn't win. Right? But Max can't see past that.
Fast forwarding when they have their old man fight later. That's like the whole
This
point.
is
Is
exactly
like,
what he
he's
says.
like,
Yeah,
dude, you won.
Well,
you had the good
They
wife
finished
with
the old
good
man
kids.
fight with the what? Because they don't even know what they're fighting about. Because
anymore.
again, it's so stupid. When we'll talk about that more in a minute. But yeah, so this is all about a woman. This is all so stupid, but it's all about a woman that's not even important, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's when they do see that picture, the little kid picture. That's exactly what John tells her about him and Max. He says, she's like, well, what would ruin a friendship like this? What always does?
What always would?
And she goes, a woman? He just is like, Nothing else said right now. We told you a bunch of the information that gets thrown at us a little bit later.
That's all of it.
But yeah, right now, all he gets sold is that, right? Like it is that.
And then they kiss.
Well, and then they
and
kiss.
He thinks he fucked it up.
Well, no, because she's like, well, I think I'm gonna have to get home. It's getting late. I don't know.
Like right at. He's just
but
like, oh
she
man.
doesn't go home. She goes to the front door, locks it.
He's just like, but I thought you said you had to go to bed. She's like, yeah, let's go.
This is
Go,
wild.
dude.
This is wild. Again, we find out that she's not gone. Like literally,
Yeah,
they go upstairs and she admits nothing has happened with Max.
Or Chuck.
Nothing did happen with Chuck, and so it's fine at first. But before he finds that out, literally, like at the first time I went to watch this, I was like, "This is wild. This is wild for people in their 20s and their 30s. Like this bitch done fucked like three different fucking friends in like
she's
3
just
days.
She's just working her way through the whole group.
But then again, like within seconds of having that thought,
she's
you
like,
hear
"No, I
her
didn't
being
do
like,
none of
no,
that."
no, no, no.
Like, oh,
I've not
thank
slept with
God.
anybody since my husband.
That makes
right?
this so much better. Thank you.
Since her husband was the last one.
Then he starts to freak
died.
out. He's just like, well, I haven't had sex.
No,
since,
he
like,
goes, do you have protection? I hear that we're supposed to have
We're
protection
supposed
nowadays.
to use protection nowadays. It's
And
different
she goes,
than when
she
I
just
did
points it out to him like, again, I haven't had sex since my husband died, and you haven't had sex since when? And he says, 1978. 15 years.
I think we're fine.
I'm pretty sure neither one of us has anything.
Any kind of STD. It's all going to be okay.
Definitely past the age of pregnancy. Everything's good.
Fucking relax and get the fuck in here or I'm going to change my mind, buddy.
And it's good. I'm
Yeah,
happy for our boy
hell
John. John
yeah,
deserves it. Like I said, we've seen now
the
a little
next
bit
day
more.
is so great when he wakes up and he goes down. He is just full of energy, making the breakfast. He even pulls the hot sauce out. Like, yeah, I want some spice.
Give me the spice. But then we see Ariel runs next. Actually, before we see her, we see Max.
He's coming out with
He's
the
coming
flowers.
out. He's got his
and shit.
hair done again.
He's good.
Looking
He's
slick. Got the flowers.
Nice purple ones too. I liked them. I was like, oh, those are pretty.
And again, it's snow outside. This isn't he stole them from someone's yard.
Yeah, he went and bought them.
This is legit.
Yeah, this is hard to get in the middle of winter.
And he's so excited, right? And he's literally halfway to her door.
And she comes out of John's house.
He hears the fucking loud bang from John's house and
Yep.
turns to look and he's like,
the fuck?
what?
And she's like carrying half of her clothes
Oh, and
with
not
her and
addressing
shit,
it.
right?
Right? And she takes the flowers. These are beautiful.
Oh,
Still not
thank
addressing
you.
it.
Yeah, he knows what happened.
It's fucked up.
Yeah,
He's mad.
he is very mad.
Technically, no right to be mad.
No, not really. He feels
I get
like
it.
he
does.
lost again.
Well, he
I
feels
guess.
slighted because it's two women.
Yeah, he took 2 of them from me. The son of a bitch. Will be more charming.
But yeah, exactly. This is on you, not anybody
Yeah.
else.
So he decides to go drunk fishing.
and I love this. I love the keeping the beer
in
on
the
the
ice-
fish
on the
line,
fishing line?
in the fucking ice cold water.
It's
That's
totally
the
what I
best
would
beer
do.
ever, dude.
It's
You know
so
it, right?
ice cold, but not frozen.
Perfect use,
Right?
So you guys can all say what you want. If I were ice fishing, I would not be fishing.
all I'm doing.
That's all I would be doing.
I'm just sitting there chilling, listening to music,
Yep.
and just pulling my beer.
A
About
100%.
Fuck yeah, dude. Did you catch anything? Yeah, I caught like 12.
We see John is a changed man, right?
Oh, yeah.
He fixes the fishing pole.
Yep.
He's ready to take it out there, make amends.
Yeah,
right?
he leaves it outside the door
Knocks
for
on the
him
door.
and stuff. Doesn't want like a thank
Yeah.
you or anything. Just kind of leaves it and goes off.
Fuck that, though.
Dude, Max
Again,
doesn't have it. Screw you,
her
asshole.
magic has been making people's lives better, except for Max's. This is how you know it's not magic. It's just in these people's fucking
it's
heads,
totally
right?
in his-
Because if
in
it
their
was
head.
magic, his life would be better too.
Right? If she was actually
because it's
an
just
angel.
touching them. It's not fucking. It wasn't fucking them. It was touching them.
Yep.
Touching their lives made it better. That's what Chuck said.
Yep. He
gets mad, dude.
he drives his
John gets
truck
back.
and-
John gets back to his cabin. He's sitting in it,
Chilling.
Everything seems normal.
and then just
Well, he's like,
what the fuck?
did they act to God?
Or,
Just
right,
fucking
like somebody just smack my what happened? And then it just starts moving across the ice.
rolls all the way,
He just
dude.
sit there, drives him all the way to the thin ice. Fucking Max driving his truck. She's like,
Well, like we said earlier, dude, people spend their lives making that.
Right?
The insides are
dude, it
so
was so nice. Had like
It's fucked
a
up,
wood
dude.
burning stove
It's
and
fucked
shit.
up.
Oh,
he
dude,
gets
I
out
would-
just in time, and I mean, literally, the smoke
Yeah, dude,
pouring
he
out from how
dives.
hot that
Yeah,
stove
dude,
was.
just smoke coming out of it while it sinks into
Oh,
the water.
dude. They start fighting.
I don't blame him at all.
It's funny though.
It's
I'm gonna
old
tell you
man-
right now-
It's the definition of an old man
Well,
fight.
I'm not only that. I'm going to tell you right now, my prediction is this is what their first fight was like. This is why they haven't
Yep,
fought
this is
again
why
in
they haven't
60
done it.
years,
Yep.
is because they're both jackasses.
Yep.
And it looked just as stupid back
Neither
then.
one of them knows how to fight.
It's so bad the 90-year-old grandpa has to come in to stop it.
I gotta
Again.
separate you two again.
Yeah. Like, God damn it, you two.
It's 1938 all over again. These two assholes can't live with kids and you can't shoot them.
But this is the part, like you said, this is when we find out. He says, look, you fought like this with me our whole,
Because of a
because
bitch.
May.
Yeah, because of
and
May.
Amy. This is the first time we get their names.
Yeah, their names.
And so he says, like, I won May, but dude, it's like you forget that she wasn't a good wife. She left me.
She cheated on me.
She walked out on us,
like
on
for
the
another
family.
dude. Like, fuck her. You lucked out.
You got a woman. She was a good woman.
Yeah.
She was there. She was dedicated. She loved you. She loved, like you like driving it home. And don't get me wrong, this is a sad moment because this when he's like, yeah, I did.
And I
She
can't
passed
wait.
away.
And I can't wait around
I
for
can't
another
wait
one.
it out for another one like that.
Which makes John just feel so bad.
But should it?
It shouldn't.
Because John hasn't ever had that.
He's too fucking nice, man.
John's never
I
had
know.
that.
He's too nice.
Shouldn't John look at it as it's my turn?
It's like I deserve the good
I
bitch
I
now.
technically jumped on the grenade.
Yeah. I took the bullet for you,
We
homie.
just didn't know it, right? No. That's not the conversation.
But he does. He feels super bad.
He is so good, dude. So good.
Max doesn't deserve a friend like John, really. Like, Max is kind of an asshole.
Because after John hears that speech from Max, he said, God damn it.
This sucked, dude, because
I hated every bit of this.
This sucked.
He decides that,
Look,
I got to do right by my friend. He lets Ariel come over. And dude, this was hard to watch.
Yeah.
When she comes
had
over,
the painting.
he shits all over her. Right? So that way Max can win. So that way Max can have her.
He just throws out like, I'm too old for you and blah and all this.
Well,
other
she's
bullshit.
coming over already. Like, she's there because she was like, you were like a minute late. Like, this is how dedicated she is. She's that in, you know what I mean? Like,
you were supposed to come see me, so
I thought
came
I'd
see
bring the
you.
date to you. Oh man, dude. And again, I feel horrible because it's not like I don't even just feel horrible for her. It's hard to watch for him because he's doing
forcing it. He's being a dick on purpose.
Oh, the
And you
sting,
know it.
the sting that has to have, dude.
I hated this scene.
Yeah, it was rough, dude. We can move past it then.
Yeah,
we
but
don't
then,
we don't got to dwell here. We don't got to live in this moment. But yeah, Max just goes on to not understand how much he owes.
Yeah, no, because they just
John.
like start hanging
We
out
see
together.
they go
on the snowmobile.
They're doing the snowmobile date now.
Got
right?
like matching windsuits almost.
It's now right before Christmas.
Yep.
Right. We see Jacob is now mayor.
Yeah, he's mayor. He
Jacob's
won
been elected.
won the election. Good job.
It's a dinner and we see Melanie's coming over, right? And we can already you just see John's face and you can tell he's already just an angrier man than the last time we saw him, right? And then when we see that Mike is coming to fucking dinner, Shooter McGavin himself, the second you see that's who it is, you're like, fuck. I know I don't like him. This is the era of his career where when you see him as a character, you're just like, oh, he's a douche.
He's definitely a bad guy in this movie.
And he was.
He was. Oh, dude. Fucking John goes off on him.
Well, yeah.
With little provocation.
We thought he was gone.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. He's like, I thought you guys were getting a divorce. Oh, it's just a temporary separation.
Yeah, and
I wish we all could just take a 3-week break from our lives and pretend like it's okay. Huh, Mike?
I think I'm just gonna go get a beer. Yeah, don't you do that?
I was like, God damn.
Right?
Dude.
Just goes off on him.
Again, it's more about the hurt he has.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, but Mike needed to hear that because
he did, because apparently he
because
drinks too much.
Well, shit was going good with Jacob.
Yeah,
right?
And he was working that angle too.
Because that's the next thing we see is that Jacob wanders over.
Yep.
And when he's there,
it's adorable.
He's got the broccoli.
It's adorable
I love
with
broccoli
the broccoli.
joke.
He's like, they didn't have mistletoe, so
Dad didn't have any mistletoe. Oh man, so cute.
And then
she even lets him get the kiss on the cheek without having said anything yet. Right? It's a total shock to his system to turn and see
there
Mike.
He is.
And this is that time. It's where we finally get to find out that Mike is also a high school, like a
They all went to
childhood,
school together and
because
shit.
he instantly starts throwing out the kind of things that you only would say if you went to school with somebody.
Yeah,
It's like the kind of shrimp short jokes
shorty,
and shit.
shrimp.
Yeah. And so you're just like, God damn. And he's the mayor. You're like, dude, what are you doing?
What the fuck do you
You
do?
alcoholic
You
slob.
alcoholic bitch.
Leave this guy alone.
I make one phone call, you disappear. I own this city.
And Mel is horrible at this moment.
Yeah.
Because she's just totally acting like she doesn't understand why he's so hurt.
No, look, here's my husband. Ha ha.
Right?
Ha. Doesn't see the fucking problem with everything going on here. Like, this guy shouldn't be here.
And but not only did John go out for a drink earlier, he couldn't even have a drink at his house. He
goes out to Slippy's.
He had to.
I'm going to Slippy's.
It's Slippery's.
Oh, is it Slippery's?
Yeah. I didn't catch it until like the third time though. So
I thought it was Slippy's.
Slippery's, the bar in town. But yeah, he needed to get away that bad, right? He had to leave.
Yeah, he went to the local brewery.
And while we're down there, though, this is that part. Jacob goes back home, and when he's home, his dad's talking to him, and did you see Melanie? He tells him like, yeah,
it looks like they're back
shit
together
over there.
shit.
That one, blah 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 blah. Tells him like, yeah, he went
Yeah,
down.
John left.
He went down to Slippery's.
You should probably go talk to him.
Make up for him for the
It's Christmas.
holidays.
Go make
like,
peace.
Quit it, dude. Like this is fucked up.
This is
all right?
dumb. It's been 60 years.
So he's like, okay, whatever. I'll go down there. They start talking. Thankfully, instantaneously.
Start.
You think this was about a fucking fishing pole?
Fuck you. It's about her, you idiot.
Fishing pole. Like,
what
dude, the way
about
he
her?
said that, I was like, God damn, he's been waiting months to throw that.
Right.
But yeah, they fight. They have it out. They get into it with words. And
I let you win because I felt bad for you.
And now it's one of those things. It's just like when Max dropped the line earlier about how he couldn't wait for Amy.
Yeah.
It's the thing that when it was first said didn't mean shit to John. John was still like, whatever.
Yeah.
The longer the fucking thought of those words lingered with him, the worse it got. Same thing right now between John and to Max with that one, right? Like Max just sat there and he was just like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
She doesn't really mean anything to me.
Damn it.
It really was just you. And you guys are a better fit. And I am a fucktard.
I am kind of an asshole, but it takes
and so it takes him
almost too long.
It takes him exactly 10 minutes, which happens to be almost a minute longer than it needed to be. Like again, like you said, with 30 more seconds, and he probably wouldn't have made it in time.
No.
But so we see first that John had left.
Yeah, he's all pissed.
John
and he
leaves and he gets what he wanted, what he kept saying. Right? He was the one that said a heart attack earlier.
He's like, I'd rather go with a coronary.
God damn it.
Here it is.
But by himself out in the snow. Which I don't think he ever factored those things in.
Yeah, no,
right?
probably
like,
not.
This seems like the
He was thinking,
loneliest,
like, in his
saddest,
chair.
most frightening
Dude, I
ways.
hated this. I hated watching this scene.
Oh, yeah, it's scary, right?
Because he's like selling the arm.
Oh,
like,
dude,
oh,
it's
what's
rough.
going on? And then he just collapses.
And then you see, like, literally Max he's walking and knowing that John is right, but still like arguing with himself because he doesn't want to admit it. He wants to be mad about it still, but he knows
he wants to go continue the argument. And he's trying to find fuel for it.
Right. And then he
just sees him on the ground.
He's dude, the look on Walter
my
Matthau's
best
face,
friend.
right? Like the look on his face.
All the bullshit dropped away immediately.
Sometimes the great equalizer is what it takes to really make you stop and think about things.
Because he is in full panic. He runs up to the house.
He talks to him for a split second. He makes sure he's okay.
Not yet. I don't want to die looking at your ugly face.
Yeah, he's like, don't worry, you stay there.
You
Where's
won't.
he going?
And he's like going and banging on. Call an ambulance.
I was like, shouldn't you like throw your jacket on him? Like it's frigid.
He's getting a little covered in snow, man.
Although I don't know, with heart things, maybe the cold helped, right? Slowed down what the heartbeat would have been.
I don't know.
I'm not medically inclined.
Me either.
But so yeah, we get the hospital. He wakes up.
And we get the nurse
while he's
like,
while he's in the
friends
hospital,
or family, and he's just like friend. It's like the first time you could tell the way he said it. He's like, "Oh, he is my friend." It's like the first time he's admitted it in his whole entire life.
When he gets home from the hospital is when two things happen, right?
Yeah.
We see the IRS guy. He finds out what the IRS guy wanted, and he's like, "That's fucking insane.
That's fucking bullshit."
Well, and because at first he's like, "I'll pay it."
Yeah, because it was like 13 grand.
But then the IRS guy. So this is what happened. He owed back taxes because his ex-wife was making her own money. When you do that, you have to file married filing separately to make sure you're not getting benefits on your taxes that a single person could get.
Yeah. He didn't do that.
He didn't do that. So apparently they must not have ever gotten divorced either, right? Because again, like they implied X, but if they were completely divorced,
Yeah.
her taxes wouldn't affect his anymore. This is why I was saying I don't really understand what's going on here. We definitely need to know because it's weird tax shit.
I feel like this guy's just got it out for him and is trying to take his house.
Seems that way.
There's a whole other part of the movie we didn't get where he's just like wanting that house the whole time.
The taxes, though, he says, well, the real problem, though, is that because of the penalties and this and that, because it really goes back 20 years, it's going to be $54,000. And now that was a moment where even fucking Max goes, oh, well, I guess he's just losing his house.
Yeah, that's gone. I can't do anything about
that. That's fucking crazy. But so Max says, I got it. He's like, well, first off, and I agree, it's outrageous this man was doing this after he found out the guy was in the hospital,
had a heart attack,
almost dead.
Right?
And he's like,
he's dying in the hospital right now.
Because he shows up the next day.
House?
Next day, still fucking got everything.
They're pulling shit out.
Before this, he has already gone next door. He did already tell the truth to Ariel. We don't even hear it though. We just know, like we can tell by the looks on their faces.
Yeah,
that's the conversation that was had. Right,
those knowing looks. Yeah, you know.
I only point that out because we see them interact on the street.
Here in a second.
But it's after they've already
had the
split. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It's very strange. But so they're out on the street the next morning after he realizes, well, if I can't pay it, I got to figure out something. And so he pulls out every trick, right?
Throws the fish into the fucking
He threw the fish in his car, which again, at first you're like, that doesn't even do anything.
Yeah.
Not even because of the smell.
That's going to pay off in like 3 days.
Yeah, you're not going to see it either. Yeah. He's going to be long gone. I was like, man, that's stupid. But then we see he's done the water thing, and he's the one that knows how to do it the right way.
Yeah, with the hot water so it all actually falls on him.
And nailed the door shut.
Barricaded
with tons of boards. Those movers were out.
Dude. Yep, they were like, we're not paid for this, man.
Yeah, literally, the guy's like, no, it's okay, we can get it. And they were just instantly like, nope. If I'm not moving your shit, I'm not getting paid.
Right? You want to call me when you get this door open, we'll talk.
It was definitely one of those things where it was like, goddamn, all right. He definitely knew what he was doing, right? Well, and we see the last one. The super fucking dope one. He called in his son.
He called in the mayor.
The mayor said, I got cease and desist. You got 30 days. You can't do shit.
Now fuck off. And he's listening
the whole time. Like, the whole time his dad is like, here, this way.
Come here. And he's like, yeah. No, come this way.
Jake,
you need to come the fuck over here.
Now. And he never got him.
Oblivious to it.
He never got him. He totally just turned around on his own.
And happened to step back a couple steps.
Just in time.
Ice falls on top of Barry's IRS guy. Fuck him.
I agree.
Fuck him.
That guy had it coming.
He did. Fucking asshole.
Literally, while that's going on, Max and Ariel having to celebrating the moment. Like, now I want to say, fuck this movie for even...
Dude, this fucked with me too. I was like, wait, I don't remember this.
We don't need this scene. We don't need this kind of shit. We don't need this kind of nonsense in our lives.
No, don't fucking scare me like
They
this.
want you to think he's dead.
It's a funeral. Did it not?
No, it was.
Give you off
Everybody's
funeral
in black.
Vibes.
Everybody's in
People
black. Nobody's in colorful
Nobody's
anything.
Nobody's smiling.
Yeah. They want you to, and it's at the church.
The church.
They want you to
like
think
they go walk through a fucking cemetery.
They totally want you to think that dude died in the hospital.
I was like, I don't remember this at all.
It's not.
And then I thought I felt really stupid as soon as
like, there's a sequel. But yeah, so again, he did not die. It is a wedding.
It's a wedding.
Everybody's tearing
and Ariel
up.
Are getting married.
Yeah, everybody's tearing up. Now, all I gotta point out though is this is weird, right? They're a throuple. Say what you can tell me whatever you want. Because it was over a month.
Yeah.
Or close to a month. Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Yep.
For the Max Ariel spinoff.
Quick.
I don't know. They're
weird. Old. They gotta go. They ain't got a lot of time for this.
But the other thing we see, after it's all said and done, they go back home for the night. Right?
Yeah.
Max, Jacob, they're at Max's house. Max is like, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna find myself my own chick at the VFW.
I'm going to the VFW, taking a champagne. Maybe I'll get lucky.
Daughters of the American Revolution.
There you go, buddy.
It was so funny. But then we see Jacob looks next door through the window.
And there's Melanie. Just like when they were in school. He's still looking through the window at her.
And she's like,
She sees him. She's just
calls
like,
him
"Get
over.
the fuck over
He
here."
like stumbles running over. It was so
Yeah.
funny. I laughed so hard.
Happy,
Me.
happy endings for everybody, right?
And now the movie is basically finished, but I want to say
Blooper
outtakes.
reel. Motherfucking blooper reel
outtake.
was great.
I miss the days of this being a part of movies, right?
Right?
Like,
They
because
need to
back in
start
the day,
doing this again.
DVDs stopped it because
Yeah, 'cause
DVDs
you'd
were
have
big
the-
enough you could put everything
in the
on
special
there, right?
features, but now they don't even do that anymore.
Exactly. Now nothing. But they're the reason we stopped it. But I want to go back to a days where it's just part of the credits. Like,
Yep.
give me something interesting to watch. And
While the credits are rolling.
I'll probably read more people who are
Oh,
doing
yeah, I'll be
things for
definitely
movies.
more
Because
likely to
if I'm
notice.
sitting there watching this anyway, then I'm going to read the names.
Yeah, I'm
as
going to
they're
be
going
looking
across.
and shit. I'm just not going to
Yeah,
immediately
these
turn
were
it off.
so funny. And
The last one was the best
well,
one.
Burgess he had the best ones, right? I
Right.
mean, we can agree on that, right? Like
Looks
they had
like
so
he's
many.
gonna put the hot dog in the bun.
Oh man, dude, he had so much fun with that. He had
He's gonna
too
go
much fun with that.
pocket the salami.
Too much fun with that, dude.
Fucking Jack Lemon trying to fucking keep a straight face during it and shit.
Well, guys,
That was Grumpy Old
yeah,
Man.
no, that was not Grumpier.
We might do that one day.
But yeah, that was Grumpy Old Man. It was great. It was fun. We had a
Classic
great
90s
time.
goofy funny
Yeah,
movie.
the kind of old men we all hope we get to be.
I want to
right?
be a grumpy ass old man.
I want to have a friend like this that we can be
actually-
kind of shitty with. You know, like,
just
that's
rib
the way
on
it
each
is.
other all the time.
Now, what are we drinking next time?
Next time is our big 50th episode
Yeah.
celebration.
So we're just gonna be drinking some
champagne.
That's right, guys. That's our big secret that we've been sitting on. We figured if we had a throwaway anyway,
Yeah.
if it was all just up to chance and voting on for the movie,
And it's a celebration.
then why not just drink some
Charlie
champagne?
Murphy.
So we're getting some champagne. We're drinking some champagne. The other thing we can go ahead and say, because the announcement will have already been posted before now.
Yep.
Obviously, we don't have to make. There's no secret. There's
Nope.
no guessing. You guys just get to know ahead of
took the
time.
poll, you knew
So
what
if
it
you
is.
want to watch it beforehand, watch it
before
and then
you
come
listen
talk
to
with
us.
We've only done this a couple times, right? SLC Punk 2, we told
Yeah,
them
we told you to watch
ahead
that
of time because we were like, there's a lot of specialness to this one.
Yeah, but it's our first sequel.
Yeah,
and
so this is
everything.
this is the first time we're really giving, outside of that one, you guys know ahead of time.
Yeah. Go watch Galaxy Quest.
Come ready.
Come watch it. Listen to it. Grab champagne. Drink some champagne.
Drink
with us.
something. I mean,
Dude, celebrate with us in your room alone, sad. No, don't do that. Never mind.
don't do it
Go
sad.
get other people. Get other people.
Don't
and be
do it
happy.
sad. The only other thing I'll say before we really wrap things up this time is don't forget, guys, we will be away for a couple weeks after next week's episode.
Yeah, after next week's episode, we're going on our
Now, that being
well-earned
said,
vacation.
we will be coming back with episodes banked and just in a better
Yep,
spot.
ready to go.
And so that's the end goal, really. Like being in a better place.
Yep, being in a better place, happier, healthier, and all that other good shit. I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's good enough. I think
I
we
was
can wrap it
trying.
up.
I was trying to be deep.
I think we're good.
Yeah,
I think
we're
we need to
fine.
be- We don't need to go deep.
All right. I want to go ice fishing. Can we go?
This is Fish Camp.